doesn't have my right thing on. Hold on. It's just not gonna pick up the right microphone. Okay. It's not gonna pick up the right thing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Desktop audio. Mic. What? Mic? Where's my mic? Hi, good morning. Oh, Kevin. What is up? Okay. Now. Ah. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. I almost wasn't ready. I almost didn't make it. I almost wasn't ready. Finish combing my hair. Anyway, good morning. Oh my God, good morning. Am I really loud? Let me turn this down a little bit. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Jane and Kevin. Kevin, I was just thinking about you the other day too. What's the tea? Thanks. I'm not really. Oh no, Kevin. Oh, Kevin. Oh. Gary and Neil and Jane are here today. I know, Kevin. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I know that the last few years, at least, that I've known you have been incredibly difficult for you. And I'm just so sorry that there's nothing I can do to help you. I'm just so sorry. I know we've talked about stuff that's in the area for you, and I'm just so sorry that it's not. Ah, I I think Kevin, I hope that there's a point at which there must be birdies. You're not done, babe. You're not done. You're not done. No. You're not done, baby. I know it feels like you're done. I know that. But I don't think you're done. I hope you're not done. Uh-oh. We've got major cat action. It's a big cat butt for you. Kevin is always he makes sacrifices and he loves those puppies so much more than, uh, like he will always do the right thing by the pups. And I just know this is next to impossible for you. And I'm just so sorry your life feels so hard and heavy and impossible. And I wish I could tell you I know what that feels like, but I don't want to tell you. I don't like it when people tell me that cuz you don't know what it's like, right? Nobody knows what it's like to be each other. You are so much, even with them, without them. It's what you're doing, Kevin, is the ultimate act of love. What you're doing, Kevin, is the ultimate act of love. And I wish there was a way for you to keep them and get the help that you need in order to, you know, but I know that you've struggled, and I know this is not an easy decision that you're coming to. And I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm uh but you're here for a reason. And you know what you've done, Kevin, as I've known you, is that you've taken care. No, no, baby, you don't worry about that. Don't you worry about that. I set the mood here, bitch. And I see you. I see you, Kevin, and I want you to know that I see you. You're not bringing it down. Yeah, you're fine. You're just fine. I'm glad you told us. I'm glad you told us. Um, but what I was saying is that one of the things I know about you is that you always do for your babies. You have always been full of love for those babies. And what I see is you making what is the most difficult choice for you so that your babies will be comfortable. And that, again, I'm going to say, is an incredible act of love. So if you want to know what my opinion is, my opinion is you're one of the most loving and beautiful people I've met. And I hope that you find some way through this. I really do. And I can't like make you do that, and that makes me mad because I would like to make you get through this. But I won't. I won't. I can't do that. I can't make you do it. But I do want you to know that you are very loved, even from people, strangers on the internet. And yeah, I'm just incredibly. It's funny. I was thinking about you the other day. You know, it was funny. I was thinking about you the other day. I thought I haven't seen Kevin in a minute. I wonder if he's okay. And I know it's just an ongoing struggle. It's just an ongoing struggle between health, between mental wellness, between employment, all the things that come along with that. And you are truly doing the best that you can. I know that. I know that about you. I don't know why I know that, but I know that. You're doing the best you can. And that actually is good enough. That's the thing we forget. Doing the best you can actually is good enough. Right? Oh, baby. I think you need to find new family. That's what I do. In times of trouble with my existing family, I find new family. You're part of this family as whatever it is, loosely tethered together. Family on the internet. Well, I hope for you that those feelings of aloneness go. But I've known you for a few years now. I've known you for what, 5 years? No, 4 years, 4.5 years, maybe 4.5. Yeah, maybe 4. I can't remember. I can't remember when we met exactly, but it was on Spaces. It was a long time ago. So I feel like I don't know you at all, really, but I think I know you a little bit. 4 or 5, yeah. And I just know you're a good soul. That's what I know about Kevin. What I know about Kevin is like he just is love. That's what you are. That's what you are. And you've fought a lot in your life for other people, and and now it's like you have to fight for yourself, but it's a lonelier fight because there's no one that can help you to do it except for you, and that is just the most daunting feeling on the planet. So my wish for you is that you find some family. Thor's curled in your lap right now. Hang in there, Kevin. Please. Please. For me, a stranger on the internet. I think you're amazing. I think you're amazing. And I think what you're thinking about doing is, again, one of the most greatest sacrifices that we can make as modern day humans, frankly. And there's no shame in that. That's nothing but bravery. That's nothing but love. That's nothing but love. And wow, I would much rather want, of course it breaks you. It would, of course it does, darling. Of course it does. Of course it does. The key is to bend. And I don't know how to do that. I'll be honest with you. I've had moments of not bending and not wanting to. So I get that too. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Even all the pain, all the rough parts. Yeah. Yeah, you've got a lot of people who really love you. And they don't even know you. So, I love you, Kevin. I'm sorry, baby. I wish I could make it better. I really do. Well, I'll try and take your mind off some things. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, probably can't really take your mind off things, but we can try. I've got some cats running around that are doing things. Um, uh, bah, Kevin. Kevin. My darling Kevin. I don't like it. I don't like it. Set up a GoFundMe and got no help. Told me where I stand with the people in my life. Oh. Wait, you set up a GoFundMe? Did you tell me about it? Did you tell me about it? It's pinned on Twitter. Let me go to Twitter. I can't even function. Hold on. I don't even know how to type. Oh, Kevin. Kevin. You put it Kevin, you put it up yesterday. Okay. And oh yeah, Facebook. I don't have Facebook, unfortunately. Kevin, you put it up yesterday, right? Yeah, probably no one found it. Girl. Hi, Haggard. How are you? Hold on. We're dealing with some Kevin business this morning. Hold on just a minute. Where's my damn screen? Where's my ding dong screen? You deleted the old one. Oh. I don't know how did I miss this? That's what I want to know. How did I miss this? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Now I can't find anything on my screen. Okay. Oh man, all this stuff is so the technical stuff drives me insane. Okay. Sorry, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Okay, hold on. I got to get rid of the kitty cam. I got to put the kitty cam. Urgh. Why is everything so technically difficult this morning? Why? Okay. Uh-oh, we got a catastrophe here. All right, here's Kevin supporting my recovery journey. I'm going to put this link in. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. My cat is having a hairball right now. Oh, share. How do I copy it? Website widget. How do you, can you just, copy link. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. All right. Hold on. Of course, Kevin. Of course. Of course. Let's give this a chance, okay? Before we get too upset, Kevin, okay? Can we just give give it a minute? And I'm going to share it on Blue Sky too because I have more. Sorry. Sorry about my cat hawking up along over there. Hold on, let me do this. Oh, so many things. So many so many buttons. Why are there so many buttons to push? I love you, Kevin. You goofy boy. You goofy boy. I love you, Kevin. You're a goofy boy. You're a goofy boy. But I love ya. Oops. Oh God, that's me singing. Jesus Christ. There you go. I appreciate you so much. You're still a goofy boy, but I appreciate you very much. You're not a goofy boy. Actually, you're a very normal human who's going through a really, really, really rough time right now. And that's what happens sometimes to us humans is that we're going through a really, really rough time sometimes. So I understand. Good morning, peace, love. You just tried another one. Oh, okay. Well, that's what it is. I didn't find it. I didn't find it. So hang in there, Bubba. Hang in there, baby. Hang in there, baby. Look, you got a cat in the distance. Loki is hiding behind the couch. He knows something is going on today. Well, what's the I don't know. Well, I don't want to get into it here. We could probably talk offline, but I mean, are you waiting for this GoFundMe to do something and then you'll be able to keep the dogs, or are you going to go ahead and give up the dogs because you know long term you can't? I wish I was in Colorado. I'd figure out how to take the dogs, but I can't. I'm not in Colorado, and now I don't have. I can't. Oh, Thor and Loki, goofy boys. Well, Kevin, I hope things come good. I really do. I don't know how we get you there, but I just really hope that that's you get some relief soon. And you love on those pups. Just love on those pups. Love on the pups. Depends on the GoFundMe. They got the last of their food this morning. Oh, well, I'll send you some money for food for today. Don't worry about that. I'll send you some money for food for today. Ugh. I'll do that. I'll do that at when I start playing something so I can focus and not do it wrong. But yeah, I'll send you some money for today. Don't worry about it. I love you, bub. I love you, bubby. I love you, brother. You're like a brother to me. And if I can help you, I always will. You know, like that's just the way it is. So I just need you to hang in there. That's a selfish request on my part. I get to be selfish sometimes, right? Anyway, I'm glad you told us. Thank you for telling us, Kevin. It takes a lot of bravery. It just takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength to go through the stuff you've been going through. And that's just the way it happens sometimes. But, well, you're a great human. And, great humans find each other. No, I'm not a great human. But you're a good soul. You're a really good egg. You're a really good person, Kevin. And I just want you to get through this. I want you to get to the next side and know that there's always struggle, right? Struggle is whatever. But it can be in varying degrees, and it would be nice if you got a little bit of relief from the big struggle. I think you deserve that. All right, sending big love to you, Kev. I know you do. I know it sucks. I know. And I don't know what's going on in Littleton, Colorado. I don't know what's. I have to look at Littleton and see. Ducking taco. That's right. Fucking taco. That's right. It's a fucking taco. It's the plague of the taco. Terrible. What is today? The 14th. So all the stuff for government stuff is tomorrow. So we just have reading to do today. Oh, we can just chill out today. Damn spell check. Fucking spell check. fucking oligarch spell check. Can you pin? Oh, I can. Yep. Thank you, Neil. Good idea. Good idea. Perfect. There it is. Thank you. Good idea. It's Bastille Day. Okay, so this is actually interesting. This is interesting. I thought it's July 14th. Now I know June 14th is Flag Day. Sorry, my nose is running. My nose is running this morning. Actually, I should blow my nose. I don't want to. I don't want to. I look terrible. Today is not, it's not Flag Day, it's Bastille Day. That's right. So is there, hi Carla. Hi Hi Jane. Yeah, I hope there is too. Viva la 14 Juliette. That's right. Vive la 14. I don't know. I can't speak this morning. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even speak this morning. That's all right. Liberté, égalité, fraternité, adjacent to Beacon in Santa Fe. It's Bastard Day. It's Bastard Day. That's right. It's Bastard Day. Vive la France. That's Maxie. That's Max. It's Max backwards. Rewolf Zam. 31 Rewolf Zam. Do we cheat him and how? Oh my God. You stole that from the Bob Newhart show. Oh my God, I love that show. He was such a great comedian. He was a really good comedian. Not sure what's going on. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. Doesn't matter what I look like. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. Is it just me or does Kevin Hassett always seem like he's smirking? Oh my God, the Kevin Hassett thing though was so funny. Hold on, because that was really funny. That's a good one. He's such an idiot. What morning show was he on? I can't remember. Although he's always an idiot. So you could really choose any morning show for Kevin Hassett and just understand that he's an idiot. Is this the one? Oh, this is the one. Wait, is this the one? I hope this is it. I hope it's it. Hold on. Because that would be funny. Yeah, did you see that one? I thought that was really funny. Kevin Hassett is like one of those guys that is just like the karma that's going to come for him is really bad. Like, it's really bad. Oh, shit. I mean, this kitty cam is just in front of everybody. I'm sorry, everyone. Kitty cam does not care. And there's no cats in it. Oh, my God. What the hell? What a waste. What a waste. Okay, this is Kevin Hassett on, what is he in? On ABC. Whatever ABC's news show is. I have no idea. Face the Nation, Meet the Press, Shit the Bed. I don't know. Badger, did you hear about the GOP congressman complaining about the Manitoba wildfires? I did hear about that. Oh, Lee, tariff roller coaster is off the rails this morning. Meeting in 3 minutes, but wanted to say hi. Hello, Lee. Hello, my darling. Hello, my darling. Yeah, take care, Lee. We'll see you hopefully later on this morning. Did you hear about that? Yeah, I did hear about that. That was pretty funny. What an idiot. All right. This is a little long, but it's actually worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and then I'll smoke a joint in the middle of it.
Economic advisor Kevin Hassett joins me from the White House North Lawn. Thank you very much, Kevin, for being here.
He's such a dork.
We'll get to Powell in a second, but let me ask you about the new tariffs that the president has just announced that he's going to impose on August 1st on Canada, European Union, and Mexico. Why now? What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I think that we've got a deadline that's coming up in early August. Mm-hmm. And the thing about President Trump, if you go back and look at his history, that he became one of the most successful, if not the most successful businessman in the 20th century because he was able to...
Do these guys think that we have never seen Trump? Does he think we've never seen who Trump is? He is a silly little man. Yes. It's true.
Squeeze everything out of every deal.
I feel like he's always holding his dick too when he's talking.
Right now, we've got that guy who wrote the art of the deal, making deals for the American people, and we've got to see where the dust settles. The bottom line is that you've seen some sketches of deals that have been negotiated with Howard Lutnick and the rest of the trade team, and the president thinks the deals need to be better. And to basically put a line in the sand, he sent these letters out to folks, and we'll see how it works out.
I mean, for all the talk of deals, I mean, there
We'll
was
see
talk
how
of
it
90
works out.
deals in 90 days, and then the president actually said 200 deals at one point. And we've really only seen 2.5 deals. We've seen the UK, we've seen Vietnam, and a kind of a framework on China. So let me ask you, because what we're hearing from the Europeans and from the Mexicans is they were in the middle of these negotiations as this was going on. So is this a negotiating tactic, or are these tariffs real?
These tariffs are real if the president doesn't get a deal that he thinks is good enough. But, conversations are ongoing, and we'll see where the dust settles. The bottom line is that President Trump has produced a huge amount of tariff revenue.
Back in the napkin kind of
in the
stuff.
first half of the year, the Congressional Budget Office has said that tariff revenue over the next 10 years, which will help reduce the deficit and secure our entitlement programs, it's $3 trillion. And consumers haven't seen that. Consumer price index inflation now is the lowest.
Okay, does that mean that people are buying at the same levels? How did he use his numbers? And I don't know what CBO numbers he's referring to. I don't think the CBO has actually said that, but okay. So what is he, I just don't understand. Does he think the buying levels from these other countries is going to stay the same or increase? Right? Sketches of deals or sketchy deals. That's right, Carla. Oh, about the wildfires. Yes. I don't really understand.
It's been in over a decade. And so what President Trump has always said is that the foreign suppliers, the foreign governments are going to bear most of the tariffs. It's being visibly seen. And I think that that's probably affecting his negotiating position, because we've got all this empirical evidence that his position has been proven correct.
His position on what? The
data.
Well, as you know, a lot of economists say that the inflation will be coming, and that there were certainly a lot of imports that were brought in the anticipation that tariffs would be placed. Let me ask you about one new set of tariffs that he announced on Brazil. 50% new tariff on Brazil. Brazil had a $6.8 billion surplus last year. In fact,
with us.
The U.S. hasn't had a trade deficit with Brazil since 2007. I mean, almost.
So we have not really had we have a trade surplus with Brazil. So why in the world is this not the normal, screaming at this administration that they are just driving us into the ground? Why can't we get to the real story of why they're doing this?
2 decades. So why are we putting a punishing 50% tariff on Brazil?
Well, bottom line is the president has been very frustrated.
Turn the language around.
And also with the actions of Brazil.
He needs to turn the language around. The language needs to be, what purpose does this serve? I mean, really, there was another way I was phrasing that question in my head. Damn it. It was better. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, God. I don't even want to think about it. I have a story about tomatoes this morning that I'm going to read to you. I heard the reason Klump left G7 is he was asked to 35% is retaliation because he made inappropriate comments about Italian PM, and that's what the whispering was about. That sounds like dementia. Oh, really? Really, Jane? And pigs? Oh. Yeah, it's because of Bolsonaro. Exactly.
In the end, though,
he's paying back a debt.
We're trying to put America first. I think that a lot of people, when I'm talking to negotiators from other countries, at some point they'll say, "What did we do wrong?" And what I'm trying to get, the message we're all trying to get across is this is about America getting itself ready for the golden age by getting our house in order, by getting our tariff and trade policy and tax policy exactly where it needs to be for a golden age. And normally it's not necessarily about a specific country, but with Brazil it is. Their actions have shocked the president at times.
Their actions?
He's been clear about that.
But I don't understand how you're saying it's about America, because the president has made it quite clear that what he's upset about is how the Brazilian Supreme Court has handled the criminal case involving former President Bolsonaro.
I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is that what I've been saying with most countries was that it's really about us getting the tariffs in order. And I think that this tariff for Brazil is a lot higher because of the president's frustration with Bolsonaro. And the fact that Bolsonaro himself, anyway.
Anyway?
Can you explain to me, because I find it confusing.
Bolsonaro himself what?
On what authority does the president have to impose tariffs on a country because he doesn't like what that country's judicial system is handling a specific case?
Well,
I mean, how
if
is
he
that?
thinks it's a national defense emergency, or if he thinks it's a national security threat, then he has the authority under IEPA.
So how is it a national security threat that, how Brazil is handling a criminal case against its former president?
Well, that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. I mean,
so what is it? I mean, I've asked what it is. I mean, it seems that that's what President Trump's talking about. He's talking about his anger and his frustration. He's been quite candid about it with the Bolsonaro case.
Right. Well, the bottom line is that what we're doing absolutely collectively across every country is we're onshoring production in the U.S. to reduce the national emergency.
No, we're not.
Have a massive trade deficit.
No, we're not.
That's putting it at risk should
no, we're not.
need production in the U.S. because of a national security crisis. And this is part of an overall strategy to do that.
But again, as we just established, we have a trade surplus with Brazil, not a deficit. And we've had a surplus with Brazil for 18 years.
If you look at an overall strategy, if you don't have an overall strategy for this, then there'll be transshipping and everything else, and you won't achieve your objectives.
Okay. I'm still confused, but let me move on. Let me ask you about the 50% tariff that the president has imposed on copper imports. Copper, of course, is
he does look like he's always suppressing laughter, like he's nervous.
Industrial manufacturing, cars, mobile
he's an
phones,
idiot.
And the like.
He's a creeper.
This is what the Wall Street Journal had to say about these tariffs. Mr. Trump is going to make U.S. firms pay 50% more for a vital metal while they wait 5 or more years for U.S. sourcing. How does making it more expensive to build aircraft, ships, and ammunition promote national security? This is national insecurity. What's your response to the Wall Street Journal?
Right. The bottom line is that if there is a time of war, then we need to have the metals that we need to produce American weapons. And copper is a key component in many American weapon sets. And so as we look forward to the threats that America faces, the president decided that we have plenty of copper in the U.S., but not enough copper production. And that's why he's taken this strong step.
But are you concerned about the effect of higher copper prices before American manufacturing can get up to speed?
The fact is that effect that you're just discussing is something that you mentioned that economists said were going to be coming all year, these effects, and inflation is way, way down. In fact, inflation in the U.S. is right about the same level as it is in Europe.
Okay.
And so the tariffs have worked the way that we said.
No,
so I guess the expectation would be that the countries and the people that are dumping into the U.S. would bear most of this tariff.
Before you go, I want to ask
You're
you
a
about
liar.
Jerome Powell, the Fed chair. The administration's been highly critical of the way the
God,
Fed
I
has
hate these.
handled
I hate
renovations
Republicans.
to its building, to its headquarters here in Washington. $2.5 billion renovation sounds like a lot to me, I have to admit.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, could this be used as a predicate to fire the Fed chair?
I think that whether the president decides to push down that road or not is going to depend a lot on the answers that we get to the questions that Russ Vogt sent to the Fed. The bottom line is that this is the most expensive
Russ Vogt's
project
going
in
after
DC
Jerome
history.
Powell.
$2.5 billion with a $700 billion cost overrun. To put that in perspective, the cost overrun for this Federal Reserve project is about the same size as the second biggest building overhaul in American history, which was the FBI building. And so the Fed has a lot to answer for. And the bottom line is,
what does he have to do with that?
Statutory problem. In 1913, when we founded the Fed, the U.S. was under a gold standard. So it was never envisioned by the people that voted for the construction of the Fed that we currently see, that the Fed could print money and toss it around willy-nilly because they had to have the gold to do what they're doing. And they're unbounded.
Wait, what?
Literally print the money to do the renovation. Very quickly, yes or no answer. Does the president, in your view, have the authority to fire the Fed chair?
That's a thing that's being looked into, but certainly if there's cause, he does.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin Hassett. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I didn't see that last part. I know, his eyebrow, his lack of complete facial characteristics. He's almost like one of those Peapod people. God damn. I'm telling you, I can't with any of these people. I'm so done with this. I just want to pull the covers over my head and say, nope, I'm done. Bye bye. Bye bye. I'm going back to bed now. Yeah, so Trump can deem any country's judicial proceedings are a security threat to the U.S. No, he can't. He owes Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro did some fuckery and shit like that. And now he owes him. I don't know. Yeah, he does give me the heebie-jeebies. Like, you need to check I think you need to check this guy's fucking hard drive. You know? I think you need his hard drive. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. It would be hard for me to say that Slump was the greatest deal maker of the time. I mean, really. I just, how do we say this? It's just so amazing to me that they got away with all of the disinformation. They're literally the dumbest people on the planet. Like, they're not that intelligent, Republicans. And I just don't understand why they can I just don't understand how we got to a place where that kind of simping, pathetic, weak sauce, no data, no foundation in reality government is allowed to just continue to say the shit that they say. I don't know. Kevin, this is a very good question. At what point do countries threaten to call the debt that they own? I don't know. It would be really interesting if we had that, I don't know. That's a great question. It would be really fascinating to see what would happen. Anyway, okay, let me get my articles that I have pulled for you for today. We got, oh my God, we have a lot. Jesus. We're going to jump around a little bit today. But I think, well, actually, let me go ahead and get a bunch of stuff lined up and not just one thing. Not one thing. Not one thing. Ooh. Ooh. We are jumping all over the place today. Ooh. Ooh. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that's probably enough. Okay, let's start with Texas. Let's start with Texas. I guess so. Yeah, that's true. There'd have to be I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, can they just do that? I don't know. There, now. This is Texas. This is a ProPublica piece that came out, I think, last night. I think yesterday. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, sorry. Nope. July 9th. I'm a liar. But this is a good ProPublica. Yeah, that's true. The WWE crowd is pretty fucking gullible. If other countries called their debt, they would absolutely crush us. Like, remember Greece? Yeah, good job. Yeah, truth. Total. Probably not Badger hides in the walls like Joel Osteen. I put my money in my toilet yesterday. I put my money in the toilet yesterday. I put my money in the toilet yesterday. I put my money in the toilet yesterday. All right, let's read this. Don't put your money in the toilet. I mean, I guess you can if you want to. I don't know. I'm not your boss. I'm going to tell you what to do. Okay. On July 4th, the broken remnants of a powerful tropical storm spun off the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico so heavy with moisture that it seemed to stagger under its load. Fox and degraded education, and then Fox views seeped into churches, schools, families, and Rush Newt before that, priming people to be awful and stupid. Yep. I hide my cash in my toilet today. I hide my loot in the loo. On July 4th, the broken remnants of a powerful tropical storm spun off the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, so heavy with moisture that it seemed to stagger under its load. Then, colliding with another soggy system sliding north off the Pacific, the storm wobbled and its clouds tipped, waterboarding south-central Texas with an extraordinary 20 inches of rain. In the pre-dawn blackness, the Guadalupe River, which drains from the hill country, rose by more than 26 vertical feet in just 45 minutes, jumping its banks and hurtling downstream, killing 109 people, including at least 27 children at a summer camp located inside a federally designated floodway. Over the days and weeks to come, there will be tireless and warranted analysis of who is to blame for this heart-wrenching loss. Should Kerr County, where most of the deaths occurred, have installed warning sirens along that stretch of the waterway? And why were children allowed to sleep in an area prone to high-velocity flash flooding? Why were urgent updates apparently only conveyed by cell phone and online in a rural area with limited connectivity? Did the National Weather Service, enduring steep budget cuts under the current administration, adequately forecast this storm? My nose is really running. Hold on just a minute. It's way more. Yeah, there is more that are deceased now. That's true. Because this was July 9th, so this was a week ago. And now it's, how much is it? 100 and, how many people? 170 or something, or 115? Forgive me for not knowing. These questions are critical, but it is but so is a far larger concern. The rapid onset of disruptive climate change, driven by the burning of oil, gasoline, and coal, is making disasters like this one more common, more deadly, and far more costly to Americans, even as the federal government is running away from the policies and research that might begin to address it. President Lyndon B. Johnson was briefed in 1965 that a climate crisis was being caused by burning fossil fuels and was warned that it would create the conditions for intensifying storms and extreme events. And this country, including 10 more presidents, has debated how to respond to that warning ever since. Still, it took decades for the slow motion change to grow large enough to affect people's everyday lives and safety, and for the world to reach the stage it is in now, an age of climate-driven chaos where the past is no longer prologue and the specific challenges of the future might be foreseeable but are less predictable. Climate change doesn't chart a linear path where each day is warmer than the last. Rather, science suggests that we're now in an age of discontinuity, with heat one day and hail the next, and with more dramatic extremes. Across the planet, dry places are getting drier while wet places are getting wetter. The jet stream, the band of air that circulates through the northern hemisphere, is slowing to a near stall at times, weaving off its tracks, causing unprecedented events like polar vortexes, drawing Arctic air far south. Meanwhile, the heat is sucking moisture from the drought-plagued plains of Kansas, only to dump it over Spain, contributing to last year's cataclysmic floods. We saw something similar when Hurricane Harvey dumped as much as 60 inches of rain on parts of Texas in 2017, and when Hurricane Helene devastated North Carolina last year, and countless times in between. We witnessed it again in Texas this past weekend. Warmer oceans evaporate faster, and warmer air holds more water, transporting it in the form of humidity across the atmosphere until it can't hold it any longer and it falls. Meteorologists estimate that the atmosphere had reached its capacity for moisture before the storm struck. The disaster comes during a week in which extreme heat and extreme weather have battered the planet. Parts of northern Spain and southern France are burning out of control, as are parts of California. In the past 72 hours, storms have torn the roofs off of 5-story apartment buildings in Slovakia, while intense rainfall has turned streets into rivers in southern Italy. Same story in Lombok, Indonesia, where cars floated like buoys, and in eastern China, where an inland typhoon-like storm sent furniture blowing down the streets like so many sheets of paper. Leon, Mexico, was battered by hail so thick on Monday it covered the city in white, and North Carolina is again enduring 10 inches of rainfall. There is no longer much debate that climate change is making many of these events demonstrably worse. Scientists conducting a rapid analysis of last week's extreme heat wave that spread across Europe have concluded that human-caused warming killed roughly 1,500 more people than might have otherwise perished. Early reports suggest that the flooding in Texas, too, was substantially influenced by climate change. According to a preliminary analysis by Climameter, a joint project of the European Union and the French National Center for Scientific Research, the weather in Texas was 7% wetter on July 4th than it was before climate change warmed that part of the state, and natural variability alone cannot explain this very exceptional meteorological condition. That the United States once again is reeling from familiar but alarming headlines and body count should not be a surprise by now. According to the World Meteorological Organization, the number of extreme weather disasters has jumped fivefold worldwide over the past 50 years, and the number of deaths has nearly tripled. In the United States, which prefers to measure its losses in dollars, the damage from major storms was more than $180 billion last year, nearly 10 times the average annual toll during the 1980s, after accounting for inflation. These storms have now cost Americans nearly $3 trillion. Meanwhile, the number of annual major disasters has grown sevenfold. Fatalities in billion-dollar storms last year alone were nearly equal to the number of such deaths counted by the federal government in the 20 years between 1980 and 2000. The most worrisome fact, though, may be that the warming of the planet has scarcely begun. Just as each step up the Richter scale represents a massive increase in the force of an earthquake, the damage caused by the next 1 or 2 degrees Celsius of warming stands to be far greater than that caused by the 1.5 degrees we have so far endured. The world's leading scientists, the United Nations Panel on Climate Change, and even many global energy experts warn that we face something akin to our last chance before it is too late to curtail a runaway crisis. It's one reason our predictions and modeling capabilities are becoming an essential life-saving mechanism of national defense. What is extraordinary is that at such a volatile moment, President Trump's administration would choose not just to minimize the climate danger, and thus the suffering of the people affected by it, but to revoke funding for the very data collection and research that would help the country better understand and prepare for this moment. Over the past couple of months, the administration has defunded much of the operations of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the nation's chief climate and scientific agency responsible for weather forecasting, as well as the cutting-edge Earth systems research at places like Princeton University, which is essential to modeling an aberrant future. It has canceled the nation's seminal scientific assessment of climate change and risk. The administration has defunded the Federal Emergency Management Agency's core program, paying for infrastructure projects meant to prevent major disasters from causing harm, and it has threatened to eliminate FEMA itself, the main federal agency charged with helping Americans after a climate emergency like the Texas floods. It has, as of last week, signed legislation that unravels the federal programs meant to slow warming by helping the country's industries transition to cleaner energy. And it has even stopped the reporting of the cost of disasters, stating that doing so is in alignment with evolving priorities of the administration. It is as if the administration hopes that making the price tag for the Kerr County flooding invisible would make the events unfolding there seem less devastating. Given the abandonment of policy that might forestall more severe events like the Texas floods by reducing the emissions that cause them, Americans are left to the daunting task of adapting. In Texas, it is critical to ask whether the protocols in place at the time of the storm were good enough. This week is not the first time that children have died in a flash flood along the Guadalupe River, and reports suggest county officials struggled to raise money and then declined to install a warning system in 2018 in order to save approximately $1 million. But the country faces a larger and more daunting challenge because this disaster, like the firestorms in Los Angeles and the hurricanes repeatedly pummeling Florida and the Southeast, once again raises the question of where people can continue to safely live. It might be that in an era of what researchers are calling mega rain events, a floodplain should now be off limits. Oh, that's what it was. So there you go. That's the truth. Let me see. Oh, I've got all. We're really jumping all over the place today. Let me catch up with chat. They gave the federal money to the sheriff's office. Oh, my office. I can't speak. I removed my comment. Oh, sorry, butterflies. 132 dead, 161 missing. Oh my God. Karen, that's just so unbelievable. Not North Carolina again. My sister is just getting ready to list my mom's condo in Asheville, and the Aldi at the corner just had their grand reopening. Max, related from Mother Jones this morning, red states defying reality are reclassifying gas as a green fuel to defraud grants and other funding that should go to clean energy. Oh my God. The whole disgustingness of this is just like amazing. Hi, Gal. Ontario is covered in smoke today. Go David and Dan. Go Doug and Danny. Oh, poor Ontario. I'm sorry. But I think a lot of that money is going away. Like, where is it going, though? I still ask that question. If money's been appropriated, where does it then go? So, I mean, I just want to see how the numbers are shaking out. If we're not spending as much money as we were going to, why can't they produce a report that shows us? I just don't get it. There's something really missing. MAGA people are so close-minded about everything, but climate change is a big one. We have to take care of Mother Earth, and she will take care of us. Well, and really, I mean, at this point, it's mitigation, right? Like at this point, it's, we're not going to solve the climate crisis per se. I don't think we're just going to mitigate it and slow it down. But can we? I don't even think we have the political will to do that. I don't see it. I don't know why, but Obama has a message for Democrats. Uh-oh. Is he saying, toughen up? Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. Let's read that. Sure, let's read that. Oh, boy. Wait, when was this? Oh, that's today. Former President Barack Obama issued a call to action for Democrats at a private fundraiser in New Jersey on Friday evening, urging those frustrated by the state of the country under President Trump to stand up for the things you think are right. I think it's going to require a little bit less navel gazing and a little less whining and being in fetal positions, and it's going to require Democrats to just toughen up, Obama said at the fundraiser, according to excerpts. I mean, I don't think he's wrong. I don't know who he's talking to. That's what I don't know. He should probably be a little more specific about who he's talking to. Because I don't know who you think isn't being tough out here, sir. I think it's going to require. Oh, yeah. Okay. We read that. Don't tell me you're a Democrat, but you're kind of disappointed right now, so you're not doing anything. Now is exactly the time that you get in there and you do something. Don't say that you care deeply about free speech and then you're quiet. No, you stand up for free speech when it's hard. When somebody says something you don't like, but you still say, you know what, that person has the right to speak. What's needed now is courage. So are we supposed to shut them down? Wait, I'm very confused. Obama's comments come as the Democratic Party searches for its path forward. Its path forward is to preserve democracy, okay? Democrats, your path forward is to preserve democracy. Period. Full stop. Full stop. Oh my God. Many in the party's base have called for a more forceful response from Democratic leaders at a time when the party is locked out of power. As Democrats debate who should lead the party, Obama encouraged them to channel their energy into the governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia, saying the off-year elections could be a big jumpstart. That's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong about that. Stop looking for the quick fix. Stop looking for the Messiah. You have great candidates running races right now. Support those candidates. Make sure that the DNC has what it needs. No, fuck them. Sorry. Yeah, vote. I asked both Schumer and Obama what to do about the lantern flies in my garden. Both said vote. Well, they're the wrong people to ask about lantern flies in your garden. Okay, come on now. Obama spoke at a private fundraiser hosted by New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy and his wife Tammy at their home in Red Bank. The intimate dinner drew in $2.5 million through in-person and online donations for the Democratic National Committee. A portion of the haul will be allocated to Democratic efforts in the governor's race in New Jersey. The Democratic nominee, Rep. Mickey Sherrill, I like Mickey, she's good, and DNC Ken Martin. Ugh, God. Obama described Sherrill and former Rep. Abigail Spanberger, the Democratic nominee for governor in Georgia, as a powerful spokespersons for pragmatic, common-sense desire to help people, and who both have remarkable track records. The most important thing you can do right now is help the team, help our candidate win. We've got to start building up the coffers in the DNC for what? Obama also argued that Democrats need to focus on how to deliver for our people, or deliver for people, acknowledging the different views within the party about how best to do that. There's been, I gather, some argument between the left of the party and the people who are promoting the quote-unquote abundance agenda. Listen, those things are not contradictory. You want to deliver people and make their lives better, you got to figure out how to do it. I don't care how much you love working people. They can't afford a house because all the rules in your state make it prohibitive to build. And zoning prevents multifamily structures because of NIMBY, he said, referring to Not in My Backyard. I don't want to know your ideology because you can't build anything. It doesn't matter. Obama has spoken selectively since Trump's return to power in January. He's criticized the president's tariff policy and warned the White House was infringing on Americans' rights. I can't. I cannot. Obama warned the country was dangerously close to an autocratic government. At the closed press fundraiser on Friday, the former president said he has not been surprised by what Trump's done or that there are no more guardrails within the Republican Party. Oh my God. Is he this out of touch? Is that what it is? Is he literally this out of touch? Really? I really find that hard to believe. Is he just like, is he scamming us? His repeated calls for institutions, including law firms. Yeah, we know. What's being asked of us is make some effort to stand up for the things you think are right and be willing to be a little bit uncomfortable in defense of your values. Why would we be uncomfortable in defense of our values and in defense of the country and in defense of the world that you want to leave your children and your grandchildren? And if we all do that, our jobs are okay. Whatever. Whatever, dude. Get the fuck out. Nobody cares. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, Chuck Schumer, who's basically dead. Biden authorized $10 million to help warn residents, and they didn't use the woke money, but I believe they spent it on something else. Yeah, I saw some, I don't know if it was a TikTok. Oh, speaking of which, I got to show you guys this TikTok. I know you don't watch TikTok, so I'll watch it for you. But this song is really, I actually introduced it to my daughter, okay? That's how, this will make you happy. You're not going to be able to get this out of your head all day. I'm going to guarantee you that right now. So there. Hold on. Wait a minute. What? No. I'm signed in. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Okay. This guy. Oh, wait. Oh, am I not signed in? That's probably what it is. I don't think I'm signed in. Okay, so I'm not signed in, but you can, but I am following him, so hold on. I want to show you this. So this guy has been coming up on my For You page, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's, yeah, so this is, I'll show you this one. This is so good. All right, get ready to dance. I only fuck with gay boys, lays bad bitch. I
I only fuck with gay boys, lays, bad bitches, and dykes. Yeah, the redneck, thick butt sluts, my type. Yeah, the big breast, big dick dolls, my kind. Yeah, they taught me how to fight, so I'ma fight for the rights. Fuck Trump, fuck ICE, free Palestine. I'ma say that shit again, free Palestine. It's American dollars funding genocide, but the people waking up, we got open eyes. KFC, Santeria. I only fuck with gay boys, lays, bad bitches, and dykes. Yeah, the redneck, thick butt sluts, my type. Yeah, the big breast, big dick dolls, my kind. Yeah, they taught me how to fight, so I'ma fight for the rights. Fuck Trump, fuck ICE, free Palestine. I'ma say that shit again, free Palestine. It's American dollars funding genocide, but the people waking up, we got open eyes. KF.
I'm telling you right. KFC Santeria is the name of the song. He's got a few versions of it. His name is Cain Culto, Cainculto, and he calls his style. Well, he's like Latin rap. It's so good. He's so good. He's so good. I don't know if there's another.
So faggy, fucking gay when I get my nails did. New anime chain, I'm always down weed, bitch. My logo move, brain inside be tweaking. Princess Mona no get what not.
Highly recommend.
That was the Empire fool. I want to open the new, set it ablaze in flames. I'm a stage of a coup. Red hand setting them loose, Pentecostal power like glue. Feel the Holy Ghost on me.
Anyway, really highly recommend him. He's making me very happy these days. Highly recommend. Again, Cain Culto, Cainculto, and he's got this woman playing violin with him too. In the first video I showed you, you could see her, but I think she's called Sudan Archives. Wait, am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. I think she goes by Sudan Archives. Very good, also really good artist. So highly recommend. I'll link that one little clicky, the one little TikTok. I'll link it there so you can find them. But it's fun. This is why TikTok actually can be a good thing. I know it's a bad thing, but it can be a good thing. All right. So this one I picked up too. What is this? Civil Georgia. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's a Georgia. It's like the Georgia country. Second video I know it was a guy doing it in the second video, but in the first video it's a woman. And that's the woman I'm talking about, Sudan Archives. I know, but the second video had a guy. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. All right. Let's read about this one. He says all the right things. Yeah, he really does. He's really nails it right there. He nails it all in that little lead up. All right, this is about Swedish Foreign Minister Maria Stenegard. I don't know why this just picked up. I just picked this up and I thought, oh, this seems interesting. Okay, Sweden summons Georgian diplomat over human rights concerns. Oops. On July 11th, the Georgian charge d'affaires, I don't know how to say that, was summoned to the Swedish Foreign Ministry, where a senior official expressed serious concern regarding the human rights situation in Georgia, Swedish Foreign Minister Maria Stenegard wrote in a social media post. In the same post on X, Stenegard also noted her country's inclusion in the July 11th joint statement by 17 foreign ministers from European countries and EU High Representative, in which the leaders said they are disturbed and deeply concerned at the deteriorating situation in Georgia, citing the jailings of opposition politicians and government critics, among others. On June 30th, the British Foreign Office summoned the Georgian charge d'affaires to protest what it called the Georgian Dream government's crackdown on civil society, independent media, and political opposition, warning of potential further action if democratic standards are not upheld. The EU Foreign Affairs Council, set to meet on July 15th, which I guess they already met, will discuss the situation in Georgia and consider possible measures in response to the growing repression by the authorities. The European Council agenda says, I'm telling you, the European Council are the ones who are doing shit. They're the ones who are doing shit. That's the Swedish Foreign Minister, Maria Stenegard. Calling shit out, making it happen. Making it happen. Is there a cat? No, there's no cat in our video. Okay, and then I pulled up this Paul Krugman thing. I know, I'm a little all over the place. There's no, like, I don't have a lot of themes today. Sorry. The theme is fuckery. Fuckery afoot. There's fuckery afoot. Is there a way to find TikToks you've seen already? Yes. No. No. There's only ways to find ones that you've liked, if that makes sense. No. But yeah, no. I don't know. My brain is not really on high alert today. But then I also saw this thing by Paul Krugman. And oh good, you can see it. So this is from July 13th, so a couple days ago. Or yesterday. Oh, it's yesterday. God, I keep thinking, July 15th. I keep thinking July 15th has passed. But it hasn't. See, this is where my brain is at today. Happy Monday. Is it a Monday? It's Monday. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. It's tomorrow they're meeting about the Georgian bad people. So, okay. Inequality, Part 7, Crapto. A perfect merger of predation and corruption. This is a Substack by Paul Krugman, who's the old economist. I like Paul. He's smart. He's probably an asshole, but he seems to be pretty smart. So I can't really complain too much if he's smart. Anyway, on June 11th, June 1st, excuse me, I can't read. On June 1st, I published what I said would be the first of 2 primers on rising inequality. But I kept finding more things that I felt needed saying. So it turned into a 6-part story arc. The good news is that I believe I've finished that story arc, at least for now, with the last 2 posts. Part 5 showed how predatory financialization has helped create extreme wealth. Part 6 examined how wealth is converted into political power, and that was supposed to be it for now. But given the topics of those last 2 primers, it seemed to me that I should close out with an in-the-moment case study, a discussion of the rise of the crypto industry, which can be seen as a sort of hyper-powered example of predatory finance, influence buying, and corruption. Beyond the paywall. Oh, you bitch. Oh, I get fooled by these guys all the time. Oh. Do I want to subscribe? I don't really want to subscribe. Buckery afoot. Box Trolls. Wait, what is that movie? Wait, I'm going to start a trial. Remind me that I have to do this. I have to not. Wait. Man, I have to give you a credit card number? That's fucked up. Ugh. No. Why do you hurt me? Why do you hate me so much? Okay, here we go. I like Asheville too. I like Blowing Rock. That's what I like. I like Blowing Rock, North Carolina. If you've ever been there. Okay. But given the last topics, or the topics of those last 2 primers, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Beyond the paywall, I paid for it. It's fine. The strange economics of cryptocurrency. Crypto as a form of predatory finance. How crypto drives inequality. How the crypto industry has corrupted our politics. I still sometimes see people conflating the case for cryptocurrencies with the general case for digital monetary system. The truth, however, is that our monetary system is already largely digital. Your bank account consists of ones and zeros on the bank's server, not a pile of cash in the bank's vault. Most people use physical currency, if at all, for a handful of small transactions. Even writing checks has become increasingly rare. Instead, we use debit cards and payment apps, which are simply ways to transfer ownership of some of those ones and zeros. That's what I thought. Thank you, Paul Krugman, because that's what I thought. In case anyone brings it up, yes, there's still $2.3 trillion in cash out there. But more than 80% of that is $100 bills, which are almost unusable in daily life and are presumably being hoarded, largely outside the United States, rather than used in transactions. So what does cryptocurrency add? Conventional banking, even when digital, rests on personal ownership. You, and only you, have the right to dispose of your funds in your account. Most of the time, your bank may consider knowledge of your PIN code or your CVC adequate proof of identity, but if the bank's software flags a transaction as suspicious, the bank may demand that you verify your identity in other ways. And it adds pollution. That's right, Max. With crypto assets, your identity doesn't matter. If you have access to a numerical key identifying a Bitcoin or other digital coin, a key validated by the blockchain, it's yours, period. Nobody even needs to know who you are. In fact, Bitcoin was originally envisaged as a tool that would allow decentralized trading, no need to deal with banks or other central institutions. Cryptocurrencies have been around for a surprisingly long time. Bitcoin, which started it all, was introduced in 2009. In the early days, crypto boosters asserted that using blockchain keys rather than having banks verify customers' identity would reduce transaction costs and that crypto would largely displace conventional money as a means of payment. That didn't happen. In his book, Number Go Up, Inside Crypto's Wild Rise and Staggering Fall, Zeke Foe noted that traveling around the world investigating crypto had given me a new appreciation for my Visa card. It worked instantly with just a tap, charged no fees, never asked me to memorize long strings of numbers or to bury codes in my backyard. It's not just Foe. The annual Federal Reserve Survey of Households' Well-Being shows that very few people use crypto as a means of payment. The table shows that only 1 to 2% of the households surveyed use crypto to make a payment or transfer funds. If they bought crypto at all, it was a speculative investment. Moreover, the table shows that even this meager use of crypto by households has been falling. So households bought 2021 11, over the years dropped down to 7. Any use of cryptocurrency went from like 12 in 2021 to 8, so basically on its way down. Given its original promises then, crypto has been a bust. Yet the value of crypto assets has surged to more than $3 trillion in value. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Grove Park was closed for a long time, open now. Let's see. Yet this surge has probably significantly increased the concentration of wealth at the top. Not surprisingly, the crypto industry has acquired a lot of political power, although the sheer scope of that power is startling. How has this happened? Crypto as predatory finance. In part 4 of this series, I noted that a key part of the rise in U.S. inequality since 1980 has been a surge in the share of national wealth controlled by the top 0.01%. In part 5, I showed that much of the rise in extremely high incomes and wealth can be attributed to the financialization of the economy, that is, the enormous growth of the financial sector. Remarkably, it's hard to see good economic reasons for the rapid expansion of the financial sector. Instead, a significant share of the growth of U.S. financialization seems to have involved predation, making money by selling investors financial products they didn't understand, doing an end run around bank regulation, and in doing so, creating new risks that eventually fall on taxpayers or other victims. The financial crisis of 2008-9 was to an important extent the end result of such predation. Does crypto enable predation? Yes, in 3 ways. First, crypto appeals to people who have very little understanding of economic fundamentals. They buy simply because crypto prices have risen a lot in the past and assume that this will continue. In part, this reflects the greater fool phenomenon that always comes into play during asset bubbles. Crypto investors assume that there will always be someone down the road who will give you a real asset like dollar assets or real estate for your extremely high-priced ones and zeros. And as revealed in the Samuel Bankman-Fried trial, crypto coiners don't want the general public to know that they goose their values by buying one another's currency. Moreover, for many crypto investors, there is a significant addictive element. The psychology of crypto investing is essentially the same as the psychology of gambling. Crypto is now so easily available and marketed so heavily, for example, sold in supermarket kiosks, pushed by payment apps like Venmo, that it has become the modern equivalent to the traditional numbers ticket or racket. Second, as the Federal Reserve survey shows, crypto has failed to deliver on its promise that an anonymous payment system is superior to conventional banking. But there's an important exception. Crypto is extremely valuable in making transactions in which anonymity is very valuable for its own sake, namely illegal activity. Crypto has few, if any, legal transactional uses, but is very useful if you're laundering money and engaging in extortion. It is vapor, you're right. This is a no-look day on the stock market. Yet, even extortionists, drug dealers, weapon dealers, and financiers of terrorists dislike the extremely volatile prices of Bitcoin and its early emulators. They want to know how much a blackmail victim's payoff will be worth in dollars when it arrives. The solution to the extreme volatility of crypto is stablecoins, digital tokens issued by institutions that purportedly hold adequate reserves in conventional assets, typically U.S. Treasury bills, and promise to keep the dollar value of their tokens fixed in dollars. The biggest stablecoin is Tether, which promises to maintain the value of each Tether coin at $1. Not surprisingly, it is also the leading cryptocurrency for illicit activity, including financing terrorism. Here's how The Economist reported on Tether's role a few days ago. How Tether became... Oh, I hadn't read that. That might be really good to read. But wait, there's more. Teresa, is Bongino back to work? Is it Bongino back to work day? Did anybody get fired yet? Hold on. Did anybody get fired yet? Rutte's coming on. Oh my goodness. Rutte. Hold on, I'm just checking. No, there's no news. No news yet. No news is good news. That's just that guy. Okay, are we sending weapons to Ukraine or not? I don't even get it. Oh, okay. Mom Donnie Wynn sends jitters through New York City luxury real estate market. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to go after that poor young man. Okay, they're going to go after that poor young man. God damn it. Fuck it. It's the rich people. We've got to rise up. I'm sorry. Ma. Okay, sorry. I got a little distracted. Bondi isn't going anywhere. I don't think Bondi's going to go. I think they're going to get rid of Dan Bongino. He's like the most expendable. I mean, come on now. Who gives a shit about Dan Bongino? Really? I mean, he's the easiest to fire, I think. I don't even know why this is a question. If I was going to do a sacrificial lamb, it'd be Bongino first, for sure. Like, it just seems dumb. I don't know. But let them fight. My sister works in bank regulations and said the FBI is cracking down on people who bet through FanDuel or DraftKings. Oh, interesting. Seems like that would be easy to find. I don't know why, but maybe it's not. Taco Don has an easy day. The president participates in the White House Faith Office luncheons. Yeah. Well, he also is, he's doing something else. Wait, what is he doing? I can't remember now. I had it on the screen a minute ago. Yeah, he's doing something else. Bongino hyped the Epstein list hard before this election. He sure did. See, this is why I would just shit can Bongino. That to me would be an easy out. I don't want to give him any ideas, but I just feel like that would be an easy out. And people would shut up about it. I really think they would. And then Bondi could keep doing her bullshit. I don't know. Seems really dumb. Okay, but wait, there's more. Leaving aside the unsavory uses to which stablecoins are put, stablecoin issuers create new systemic risks to the economy. For an institution that sells assets which it promises to redeem for dollars on demand is essentially a bank. See, this is my point too. Like, how does when you get to stablecoins and all that kind of stuff, how is it different? How is it different? It's not different. It's not different. You can't, like, it's not different. So what are you gaining except for another shiny thing to sell some schmuck down the line that doesn't realize what they're buying. I mean, it's a good scam, but it's a scam still. Banks are subject to extensive regulation in an attempt to limit risk to financial stability, such as bank runs. We've been here before, okay? That's why we have regulations, is because people cannot be trusted. Yet, in pursuit of a profit, the financial industry is constantly trying to do end runs around these regulations. Witness how Lehman Brothers took down the entire financial system and imposed trillions of dollars in cost. So in the end, stablecoins are in effect offloading financial risk onto taxpayers, yet another form of financial predation. So there's a very good case to be made that the crypto industry is essentially a predatory enterprise. What can we say about how crypto affects inequality? Crypto and inequality. In my primer on the rise of U.S. oligarchs, the extremely wealthy individuals who are exerting disproportionate political influence, I noted that there have been two phases in the rise of the super wealthy. In the first phase, from 1980 until the 2010s, the big fortunes were primarily made in finance. In the second phase, which we're currently in, mega fortunes have largely flowed from quasi-monopolies in technology. Where does crypto fit into this picture? Blockchain is a clever technology applied to financial transactions, so you might expect that it would become a new source of extreme wealth, and it has. Forbes reports that there are currently 17 crypto billionaires, and that's a lot given the reality that crypto still plays virtually no role in legal economic activity. A few of these billionaires, notably the Winklevoss twins, made their money by being early investors in Bitcoin and other non-stablecoin crypto assets. However, most of them became rich by founding or operating institutions that manage crypto, holding coins for people unwilling or unable to keep track of their blockchain keys. So much for decentralized finance. 4 of the 17 made their money as shareholders in Tether. What about capital gains accruing to investors who purchased crypto assets? Those who purchased early have seen big gains, at least so far. Information about the distribution of those gains is limited. What we do know is that while many people own some crypto, overall ownership is highly concentrated. Crypto ownership is almost surely more concentrated than total wealth, let alone income. Here are some estimates from the St. Louis Fed. Let's see. So it says, I don't know what this all means. Oh boy, I have no idea what this means. So I'm so sorry. You're going to have to read that. You're going to have to take a look at that. It is a pyramid scheme, yeah. She's a cheap fraud. Yeah, it was only $25,000. It was only $25,000 that Pam Bondi took for covering up the Trump University case in Florida. That's right. She covered up the Trump University case in Florida, which was a slam dunk, by the way. And yeah, got a $25,000 donation from Trump like the next day. So it's pretty obvious. It walks like a duck. Okay, so let's stop. But that's not the reason I decided to include a discussion of crypto as a sort of post-credit scene for this inequality series. What caught my attention was the extraordinary amount of political influence crypto has acquired. The industry offers a sort of masterclass in how money can buy power in America. Back in 2019, during his first term, Donald Trump denounced crypto on surprisingly sensible grounds. I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activity that I am involved in. Since then, however, he's become an enthusiastic crypto advocate, reversing the Biden administration's fairly modest efforts at regulation and promising to make America a Bitcoin superpower. On June 16, 2025, the Senate passed the Genius Act by a vote of 68 to 30. The bill purported to establish some regulatory oversight of stablecoins, but in fact did little to address real concerns. Instead, the legislation was universally viewed as a huge victory for the industry, which received legitimacy, in effect a federal imprimatur. I don't know if I'm saying that right, while giving up nothing substantive. And 18 of those Senate votes came from Democrats. How did a scandal-plagued industry, whose role in facilitating criminal activity is well known, achieve this triumph? Through the power of money in the form of both campaign contributions and personal payoffs. You may recall from my primer on money and power that the Supreme Court Citizens United ruling made it possible to create super PACs that funnel large amounts of special interest money, some of it dark, into elections. As the campaign spending tracker Open Secrets reported, 3 huge super PACs backed by the crypto industry spent huge amounts, mainly on congressional races. Republicans against Democrats is the darker red, for Democrats and against Republicans. Oh, wow, that's not very much money. Fair Shake PAC, let's see, 12 billion, about 25 million against, basically against Democrats, 14 million for Democrats. The Protect Progress, mostly all Democrats, 34 million. And Defend America Jobs, mostly Republican donations or against Republicans. Interesting. Candidates from both parties received contributions with only a modest tilt toward Republicans. But note the larger spending against Democrats with a small amount against Republicans. Those took the form of attack ads against candidates who've been critical of crypto, while pro-crypto candidates received large donations. Some of the most critical spending took place during the primaries. Notably, crypto super PACs spent a huge amount to defeat the bid of Katie Porter, a crypto skeptic and rising star for the Democratic senatorial nomination in California. The Crypto PAC Triad's top 5 targeted races of 2024. Oh, here we go. Bernie Moreno, number 1. Bernie Moreno. He's such a bad actor. Katie Porter against her. Alyssa Slotkin, for Ruben Gallego, and for Jim Justice. Jim Justice? How does he even know what crypto is? The crypto industry's political intervention was hugely successful. The candidate backed by the industry won 53 out of 58 races. Politicians of both parties got the message, don't get in crypto's way. That was the campaign. What has happened since is even more striking. In my last primer, I noted that there have been, or primer, I don't know how to say that either. I noted that there have been long personal payoffs to industry-friendly politicians and officials who can benefit from the revolving door, but outright bribes were probably rare. Crypto has changed all that. It's true that part of the change reflects Donald Trump's personal character or lack thereof, and more broadly, the collapse of ethical standards within the Republican Party. But it's also true that crypto has opened new frontiers in corruption. Perhaps surprisingly, the key isn't the anonymity that makes crypto so convenient for criminals. Instead, it's the fact that unbacked crypto assets, unlike stablecoins, can be created at will and have no fundamental value. Max. So Trump could create a meme coin out of thin air, and people who want to curry favor with him can enrich the Trump family by buying the coin and driving up its price. Here's a report that came out Friday. Of course, this is a little older, as I was working on this post. Crypto billionaire Justin Sun is buying another $100 million worth of the Trump coin, doubling his total known stake of digital coins tied to President Donald Trump. Sun, who founded the Tron blockchain and is working to resolve a civil fraud case with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, announced the purchase of the Trump token in an X post on Wednesday. Sun said the Trump-linked digital coins will soon be tradable on the Tron network. Trump on Tron is the currency of MAGA, Sun wrote. Do I need to say anything more? Some senators proposed amendments to the Genius Act that would have blocked the use of crypto to enrich the president and his family, but they were rejected. The thing is, the way crypto billionaires have purchased political power is essentially just an accelerated, souped-up version of the way America's oligarch class as a whole has acquired so much power in a nation that formally gives citizens and every citizen an equal vote. In an earlier post, I quoted Woodrow Wilson. If there are men in this country big enough to own the government of the United States, they are going to own it. What we've just seen in the case of crypto is exactly how that transaction works. The lard coin! Let's hear it for my coin. Womp womp. I will, because this is behind a paywall, I think I'll take pictures of the article and post it. Sorry, Paul Krugman, but it's for the gram. We've got to do it. All that means is the Florida people in the lawsuit got nothing. It hurt. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it meant. Trump better get rid of creepy Stephen Miller. His approval rating on immigration is horrible. He said, yeah, I mean, I wonder if that's ever going to happen. You know what I mean? Because Stephen Miller is much more than just immigration. He's a lot of these executive orders, the DEI and all that, you know. So, yeah, I know they already are. Womp womp. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, this I wanted to read. Ehud Olmert. Sorry. I'm sorry. His face just kind of got me. I'm sorry. It's just this morning. The way I am. All right. This is a former Israeli prime minister speaking on the humanitarian city that the Gaza I don't think he is. Wait, is he? Is Bongino a lawyer? Wait, is he a lawyer? I don't even know. I'm not sure. Okay, I wanted to read this to you. This was from yesterday. Wait, was it? Was it yesterday? Yeah. Yes, it was yesterday. Oh my God, my brain is like totally fried. Okay. This tracks back to what we talked about on Thursday, which was, I think it was Thursday, when we did a number of stories on the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. That might have been Wednesday, but which is a story that I don't want to let go of, that we need to keep understanding more and more. So I thought I'd add this piece. It came up. Did you see the puppy I'm currently trying to find a good home for? No, I did not. Was that is it in Signal? I'll find it. So this is from The Guardian, an interview with Ehud Olmert. The humanitarian city Israel's defense minister has proposed building on the ruins of Rafah would be a concentration camp, and forcing Palestinians inside would be ethnic cleansing, Israel's former prime minister Ehud Olmert has told The Guardian. Israel was already committing war crimes in Gaza and the West Bank, Olmert said, and construction of the camp would mark an escalation. It is a concentration camp. I'm sorry, he said, when asked about the plans laid out by Israel Katz last week. Once inside, Palestinians would not be allowed to leave except to go to other countries, Katz said. Katz has ordered the military to start drawing up operational plans for construction of the humanitarian city on the ruins of southern Gaza to house initially 600,000 people and eventually the entire Palestinian population. If they, the Palestinians, will be deported into the new humanitarian city, then you can say that this is part of an ethnic cleansing. It hasn't yet happened, Olmert said. That would be the inevitable interpretation of any attempt to create a camp for hundreds of thousands of people. Olmert did not consider Israel's current campaign was ethnic cleansing because, he said, evacuating civilians to protect them from fighting was legal under international law, and Palestinians had returned to areas where military operations had finished. What? Whatever. The humanitarian city project is backed by Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and Israel's refusal to withdraw from the area Katz envisages for the camp is a sticking point in the faltering negotiations for a ceasefire deal, Israeli media have reported. Olmert said that after months of violent rhetoric, including calls from ministers to cleanse Gaza and projects to build Israeli settlements there, government claims that the humanitarian city aimed to protect Palestinians were not credible. And he was prime minister from 2006 to 2009. When they build a camp where they plan to clean more than half of Gaza, then the inevitable understanding of the strategy of this is that it is not to save Palestinians, it is to deport them, to push them, and to throw them away. There is no other understanding that I have, at least. Israeli human rights lawyers and scholars have described the plan as a blueprint for crimes against humanity, and some have warned that if implemented under certain conditions, it could amount to the crime of genocide. Other Israelis who have described the planned humanitarian city as a concentration camp have been attacked for invoking comparisons to Nazi Germany when the government says it is designed to protect Palestinians. Yad Vashem, Israel's Holocaust Memorial Center, accused one journalist of a serious and inappropriate distortion of the meaning of the Holocaust. Olmert, who led Israel from 2006 to 2009, spoke to The Guardian on the day funerals were held in the occupied West Bank for 2 Palestinian men, one an American citizen who had been killed by Israeli settlers. The latest deaths came after a campaign of violent intimidation that has forced the residents of several villages to flee their homes over the last 2 years. The attacks were war crimes, Olmert said. It is unforgivable, unacceptable. There are continuous operations organized, orchestrated in the most brutal, criminal manner by a large group. The attackers are often called hilltop youth in Israel and described as a fringe extremists. Olmert said he preferred the term hilltop atrocities to describe the young men whose campaign of spiraling violence was carried out with near total impunity. There is no way that they can operate in such a consistent, massive, and widespread manner without a framework of support and protection, which is provided by the Israeli authorities in the occupied Palestinian territories, he said. Olmert described extremist cabinet ministers who backed violence in Gaza and the West Bank, where they have authorized major settlement expansions and control law enforcement with a view to expanding the borders of Israel, as a greater threat to the country's long-term security than any external foe. These guys are the enemy from within, he said. Extreme suffering in Gaza and settler atrocities in the West Bank were fueling growing anger against Israel that cannot all be written off as anti-Semitism, Olmert said. In the United States, there is more and more expanding expressions of hatred to Israel. We make a discount to ourselves saying they are anti-Semites. I don't think that they are only anti-Semites. I think many of them are anti-Israel because of what they watch on television, what they watch on social networks. This is a painful but normal reaction of people to say, hey, you guys have crossed every possible line. Attitudes inside Israel might start to shift only when Israelis started to feel the burden of international pressure, he said, calling for stronger international intervention in the absence of serious political opposition at home. He also criticized the Israeli media for its failure to report on violence against Palestinians. Olmert backed the initial campaign against Hamas after the October 7, 2023 attack, but he said that by this spring, when the Israeli government publicly and in a brutal manner abandoned negotiations for a permanent end to fighting, he had reached the conclusion that his country was committing war crimes. Ashamed and heartbroken that a war of self-defense had become something else, he decided to speak out. What can I do to change the attitude except for number 1, recognizing these evils, and number 2, to criticize them and make sure that the international public opinion knows that there are other voices, many voices in Israel, he asked. He attributed what he called war crimes to negligence and a willingness to tolerate unconscionable levels of death and devastation, rather than an organized campaign of brutality. Did commanders give an order? Never, Olmert said. Instead, he believes the military looked away when things were done that would inevitably cause the killing of a large number of non-involved people. He said, that is why I cannot refrain from accusing this government of being responsible for war crimes committed. Despite the devastation in Gaza, as the last Israeli premier to seriously attempt to reach a negotiated solution with Palestinians, Olmert still hopes that a two-state solution is possible. He is working with the former Palestinian Foreign Minister Nasser al-Qidwa to push for one internationally, and even believes that a historic settlement could be in reach, an end to the war in Gaza in exchange for normalization of ties with Saudi Arabia, if only Netanyahu was able or willing to take it. Instead, Olmert was stunned to see Netanyahu, a man who has an arrest warrant for war crimes from the International Criminal Court, nominating Donald Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, what do you think is going to happen? For crying out loud. Let's see. Let me catch up. Did you see the puppy? No. I want to see that puppy. You're gonna make me want that puppy, and I can't have that puppy. Let's see. Yes, that's right. Oh my God, Max. Dan Bongino was a Secret Service agent. That's exactly what he was. Oh my God. Now I remember. The enemy from within needs an action verb. Otherwise, just the enemy within. Ah, I see. Because that's where they are. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that's kind of redundant. Just the enemy within. Yeah. Oh, Guardian. Hello. Trump is talking from the Oval about Ukraine. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, where's my thing? Where's my thing? I know we don't want to hear him, but sometimes we have to hear him.
But other people that are a little older now. but they too. And you were the one that let us do it. But we've been practicing it 3 to 4 times a year. It's about a month now, a month ago.
Rutte.
And
Rutte.
I think Mark will tell you that it was really perhaps more important the date of November 5th. That was the election day. Maybe that was the most important because we made tremendous
He doesn't know.
progress together.
He doesn't care when your election
And
day
one
was.
of the reasons
You
that
drive it
you're
out
here
to
today
me.
is to hear that we are very unhappy. I am
Take a dog.
with Russia.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be
Who are you unhappy
doing
with?
very severe tariffs if we
Who?
don't have a deal in 50 days.
Who?
Tariffs
50?
at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You
Wait,
know what?
what?
That means.
I missed
But
something
today
here.
we're
What?
going to talk about something else.
What?
As you know, we've spent $350 billion approximately
No, we
on this
didn't.
war with
That's a lie.
Russia and Ukraine.
Oh,
I would
whoops.
like to see it end. It wasn't my war, it was Biden's war.
He's
Not my war. I'm trying to get you out of it.
running through the hits.
And we want to see it end.
And then I say this.
And I'm
then I say
disappointed
that.
in President Putin.
And then I
because
say
thought
this.
We would have had a deal 2 months ago. But
And then
it
I say
doesn't
that.
seem to get there.
And then I say this.
So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple.
With who?
And they'll be at 100%. And that's the way it is. That can be more simple. It's just
Wait,
the way
with
it is.
who?
We don't have to do it. But
With who?
regardless,
I
we
must
are
have
going
missed it.
to be. We make the greatest military equipment in the world, whether it's missiles. You saw that recently in Iran, the way those planes, every single.
They're all the
14
old
bombs hit
favorites.
Every target. Then you had the helicopters shoot a total of 30 bombs, 30
Helicopters?
missiles.
Helicopters
And they hit
shot
every single
missiles?
mark on
Wait, what?
satellite, every single piece,
What?
every single target, and it was. I guess on a scale of 0
Oh,
to 10,
this is
they
not
said it was
funny.
about a
It's not
15.
funny.
That's how successful it was. That's how lethal it was. A word they like to use nowadays.
He's always
but
slumped
it
over.
was well-organized attack that people in this country
50 more
want to do
days
for
to what?
24
To
years.
August
You know, when we
1st?
had the
It's not
pilots
50
in
days.
last week, they were saying, "Sir, we've been."
It's not 50 days until August 1st. Oh, yeah, I think I will put the puppy paste. Hold on. Hold on. We're coming back. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Why am I so confused? Where is this baby puppy? Where's this beautiful boy? Girl. Oh my God. Oh, look at those paws. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh my God. This baby. Ugh. Wait, I'm just gonna add it. Oh my goodness. Add a new add source. Where is it? Oh. Oh. Oh, the puppy. Oh, the puppy. Oh, look at those eyes. Oh, look at those eyes. Look at that face. Oh my God, I gotta take a picture of that guy's face. This is too much. That's a great face. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. We're gonna put the dog right there. We'll put the dog right here. I like the dog. This puppy is for adoption. Could he travel to Ontario? Oh my gosh. No, Kevin. No, Kevin. No, Kevin. She is gorgeous. Ah, all right. Well, she will hopefully make you not get sick when you look at the television because you've got to hear this guy.
Practicing this for 24 years, meaning people, not them, but other people that are a little older now. But they too, and you were the one that let us do it. But we've been practicing it 3 to 4 times a year for 22, 24 years.
What are we doing?
Because they always knew they had to stop Iran from doing what they
Wait,
were
what?
doing, which
We
is
practiced
trying
it?
to
Wait,
come up
what?
with a nuclear weapon, a nuclear bomb.
Oh, yeah.
And we did it very successfully. And we make the best equipment, the best missiles, the best of everything. The European nations know
Oh, so many
that.
people love pit bulls.
And we made a deal
Yeah.
today, and I'm going to have Mark speak about it, but we've made a deal
She's
today
got wrinkles.
where we are going to be sending them weapons, and they're going to be paying for them.
What?
The United States will not be having any payment made. We're not buying it, but we will manufacture it, and they're going to be paying for it.
Ooh.
Our last meeting of a month ago was very successful in that they agreed to 5%, which is more than $1 trillion a year, so they have a lot of money. And these are wealthy nations. They have a lot of money, and they want to do it. They feel very strongly about it, and
Wait,
we feel
we gotta
strongly about it, too.
move the dog, so.
We're in for a
There
lot
we
of
go.
money, and we don't want to do anymore. And we
The
can't.
dog's sitting right by
But we make
Mark's
the best,
feet.
and we're going to be sending the best to NATO, and in some cases to maybe at
The
Mark's
dog loves
suggestion,
Mark.
if we go to Germany, where
She loves Mark.
they're going to send early on missiles, and they'll be replaced, and NATO is going to take care of it. It's going to be coordinated by NATO, and they're going to work very much with Matt Whitaker, who's right here, who's a great ambassador.
Matt
Matt's gonna
Whitaker?
be coordinate. You better do a good job, Matt.
I will.
But
What?
Matt's going to coordinate. He's a very talented guy. So, in a nutshell, we're going to make top-of-the-line weapons, and they'll be sent to NATO. NATO may choose to have certain of them sent to other countries where we can get a little additional speed, where the country will release something and it'll be mostly in the form of a replacement. And I'd like to have Mark, and again, just a highly respected, pretty young guy for having had the career that he's had, because he had an amazing career before going to NATO. So, and we spent a lot of time together over the last couple of months. And if you could say a few words.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, Mr. President, dear Donald, this is really big. This is really big. You called me on Thursday that you had taken a decision. And the decision is that you want Ukraine what it needs to have to maintain, to be able to defend itself against Russia, but you do want the Europeans to pay for it, which is totally logical. And this is building on the tremendous success of the NATO summit. The 5%, but also the decision to keep Ukraine strong and the decision to increase our defense industrial production. So based on that, that was Europe stepping up. This is again Europeans stepping up. So I've been in contact with many countries. I can tell you that at this moment, Germany massively, but also Finland and Denmark and Sweden and Norway, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, all want to be part of this. And this is only the first wave. There will be more. So what we will do is work through the NATO systems to make sure that we know what Ukrainians need, so that we can make packages. Hexet at the Pentagon in a way that, of course, the US will put on its stockpiles necessary to defend this country. That's absolutely clear. But it will mean that Ukraine can get its hands on really massive numbers of military equipment, both for air defense, but also missiles, ammunition, etc., etc. So if I was Vladimir Putin today and hear you speaking about what you are planning to do in 50 days, and this announcement, I would reconsider whether I should not take negotiations about Ukraine more seriously than I was doing at the moment, if I was Vladimir Putin. But when I'm Ukraine, I think this is really great news for them. So I really want to thank you for that. And it means Europeans paying for it. And again, I mentioned all these countries, we will deal with that. And exactly as you said, it might also mean that countries will move equipment fast into
I just caught up on this in case you haven't. So the deal is now we're not sending, we're actually selling arms to Europe, who is then going to give them. Wait, what? Here we go. Well, this is what it says on CNN. It says, Trump on board with to sell U.S. weapons to European nations that will then transfer them to Kyiv. What? What? Oh, penny, like a little copper penny. Wait, so So European nations are going to buy U.S. weapons and then transfer them to Kyiv. Okay.
Ukraine, and then the US later backfilling it because speed is of the essence here. So really, thank you. This is important.
You did a great job. That's a really great job. We've been very successful in
Did he get
settling
played?
wars. You have India, Pakistan. You have Rwanda and the Congo. That was going on for 30 years.
He didn't
India, by
solve
the way,
shit.
Pakistan would have been a nuclear war within another week. The way that was going,
He didn't
that
solve
was going
shit.
very badly. And we did that through trade. I said, we're not going to talk to you about trade unless you get this thing settled, and they did. And they were both great leaders.
No. That's not how that happened. No. That is not how that happened. They extorted mineral rights out of Ukraine for protection. It's an extortion racket. We're the bad guys.
Great, but Rwanda and the Congo, that was going on for 30 years, and at least 7 million people killed, and killed with a lot of pretty rough weapons like machetes, heads
my
chopped
God.
off.
This man is so disgusting. Can he just fucking die? Can he drop
We
dead?
got that one solved.
Can he fucking have... Where's the
Serbia,
aneurysm
Kosovo,
when you
got
need
that
it?
solved.
Where
That
is
was
the
gonna be
aneurysm
one that
when
was
you
going
need
to
it?
happen. And again, that was something I use. I use trade for a lot of things, but it's great
Oh,
for
really?
settling wars.
Is that also known as the
That was
Mar-a-Lago
really very
Accord?
important. We're working. Marco is working very hard with everybody here on the Strip, the Gaza Strip. I call it the Gaza Strip. One of the worst real estate deals ever made. They gave up the oceanfront property. One of the worst deals ever made. But it was supposed to bring peace, and it didn't bring peace. It brought the opposite. But we're doing pretty well on Gaza. Steve Witkoff is here, and I think we could have something fairly soon to
No,
talk
we
about.
don't. No, we don't.
And we solved another one. One that we just seem to have, Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Yeah, come on, Big
It
Mac.
looks
Do
like
your
that's gonna
job.
come to a conclusion, successful conclusion. We worked on Egypt with a next door neighbor who is a good neighbor. They're friends of mine, but they happened to build a dam which closed up water going into a thing called the Nile. I think if I'm
A little
Egypt,
thing called
I
the
wanna have
Nile.
water in the Nile, and we're working on that one
That's true.
problem, but it's going to get solved. They built one of the biggest dams in the world, a little bit outside of Egypt. You know about that? You've been hearing about that one. And
You've been hearing about
turned
that.
out
He
to be a
has
big
been
problem.
hunching more
I don't know.
lately. Hi,
I think
Josh.
The United States funded the dam. I don't know why they didn't solve the problem before they built the dam. But it's nice when the Nile River has water. It's a very important source of income and life. It's the life of Egypt, and to take that away is pretty
Is it?
incredible. But we think we're going to have that solved very quickly. So we do good. The only one we haven't been able to get to yet is Russia. And I'm not happy. And I
You
will
haven't
tell
gotten
you
to
that
anybody,
Ukraine
bitch.
wants
Give
to
me a
do
break.
something. Again, it's a war that should have never started. If I were president, it never would have happened. I used to speak to President Putin about it
Every
a lot.
day.
It was the apple of his eye.
Apple of his eye.
But once I saw what was going on, I said, they're gonna have a war here. I was
Really? You
outside.
saw that?
Election was rigged.
You saw
I was
that?
outside looking in, and I said, that thing's going to
Our
be
country's
a war.
dead now.
Couldn't believe it, because what Biden said was the exact opposite. And it
What?
started.
What?
and
Wait, what?
It's a real mess. We're losing, I guess they're losing 5,000 or 6,000 people a day. It's actually now more.
A day?
I was saying 5,000 a day. It's actually more now. Mostly soldiers, but a lot of people in cities and towns that are getting blown up too.
Does he
It's a
think we
horrible
buy
war,
this?
and it should be stopped. And so if it's
he
not
think we
done,
buy
if we
it?
don't have an agreement in 50 days, that's what we're doing. Secondary tariffs.
Good morning, Val.
And they're biting. And I hope we don't get to the point where we do, but I've been hearing so much talk. It's all talk. It's all talk, and then missiles go into Kiev and kill 60 people. It's got to stop. But the purpose of this is to say that this is a very big deal we've made. This is
No, I'm not even sure who
billions
he's
of
talking
dollars worth
about.
of military equipment.
Oh,
is
they
gonna be
totally
purchased
ate it up. You're right,
from the United
Butterflies.
States, going to NATO, etc. And that's going to be quickly distributed to the battlefield.
So what?
Ukraine will
So,
And
oh,
say what
never
you want
mind.
about Ukraine. When the war started, they had no chance, and they still would have had no chance if the equipment they had the best equipment, because we do make the best planes and missiles.
Wait, what?
And we make the best military equipment in the world,
Okay.
by far.
All right.
And we have new things coming out that
Okay.
are beyond belief, and I'm very excited about the Golden Dome. It's going to give us very strong protection. We've already started.
So
that.
no one will piss on us.
But they had courage, because somebody has to use that equipment. And they fought with tremendous courage, and they continue to fight with tremendous courage. But they don't have, they're losing on equipment, and Russia's really taken a
Dementia.
very positive, very strong. I mean, what they've done the last couple of weeks.
Without military reasons. So what they are doing is 700 drones a day, missiles, bombing cities. This is not because of military goals. It is just creating panic,
Hitting
keeping
towns.
people out of their sleeps, hitting towns. It's really terrible, and it is meaning a lot of people lose their lives, but also the infrastructure, whole cities being
Well, they're
destroyed.
wiping out the electric. It's going to take years to rebuild it. That's going to be the next problem.
Yeah.
Because, that's going to take a long time. Cities, many of the cities are knocked down to the ground. Many of the people have left,
Extortion.
but many have stayed. I don't know. They actually stay. Most have stayed. Actually, it's incredible that they stay, and knowing that a missile could be hitting your apartment house, and your apartment house that you're sitting in could collapse on top of you.
Yeah, how
They
do you think
very
that
heavy
feels?
Construction. They don't use rebar. They do very thick.
I know it's
concrete
hard for him to
construction.
actually think
Those are
about.
heavy buildings, big buildings. and
It's hard
heavy
for him to
buildings, and they
envision
collapse,
this.
Yeah,
he's talking about Ukraine.
It's unbelievable to see this happening with people, so many people being killed. So we think we're making progress, and we hope we're going to make progress. In the meantime, we're going to get you good service on what you need. And we really became
just figured
friendly
out a
with
way
them
to make
this
more
last
money.
meeting. We
That's
went
all.
from 2% to 5%, which everyone said was
Couldn't
not
be
even
done.
a possibility. They weren't
Wasn't
paying
even
2%.
possible.
Many of them were paying much less than 2%.
And now they're
Even
all going to pay
those, since you became
5.
president, all committed to the 2%
Exactly.
before the
Right.
summit, and now collectively we committed to the 5%.
That's right, they did. And they've been very good. And I think I made a lot of friends over there. We had a couple of days of very intensive talks. And they're great people. They're leaders of countries. Many of them great countries, some of them smaller countries, but for the most part, very solid, strong countries. And very successful. Some of them are among the most successful countries in the world. So that's the story. We hope that's going to have an impact on Vladimir Putin, and we hope it's going to have an impact on Ukraine also. We want to make sure that
No, you
Ukraine
don't.
does what they have to do. All of a
No,
sudden
you
they
don't.
have-
Otherwise,
they
we
feel
just keep
emboldened,
sending the
maybe
shit
they
that we've
don't
been
want to.
sending,
This is a
which is our
very
old equipment, which then we
difficult
then buy
situation.
new equipment
Ukraine
for
wants
ourselves.
a peace deal.
I think so.
And they
What
will
the
stay
fuck?
committed to that, there's no doubt. They want
Yeah.
it. But the Russians have to become
They have to
serious.
continue.
Oh,
to want
man.
it,
Yeah,
I know Mark
we will do an
Rutte
explanation
is
of
doing
though. All of
the
a sudden they get no
You and I will
thing.
make sure
We'll make sure. I feel confident that they will
Yeah,
do
why
what
is
has to be
Annabelle
done. Plus, we
talking?
have certain parameters that both sides know, and we already.
That's a good one.
So I think that's going to be it's going to be very strong. We want everlasting peace. Any questions, France? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. What was the tipping point for you in the conversation with President Putin? Was it a piece of intelligence? And why are you giving 50 more days?
I think I think it's
50
short.
days for
I
Putin?
think, don't forget, I've just really been involved in this for not very long.
What?
And it wasn't initial focus. This is a Biden war. This is a Democrat war, not a Republican
What?
or Trump war. This is a war that would have never happened. It shouldn't have happened. A lot of people being killed. When the final numbers come in, you're going to see
What?
a lot more people are being killed in this war than
Two-term traitor in a
than you think,
microphone.
than you've been writing about. It's a very deadly war. They're all bad, but this is a very deadly war. The numbers are going to be far greater. When an apartment house comes down, and
Why are
they
you
say
giving
2
him
people were
50
slightly
more
injured.
days? It's because
No, many
he
people
just
were
got
killed.
here.
And those numbers will be at some
Just
point
because he just
accurate
got
and
here?
reported
I
so
just
far
got
not.
here. I don't know.
It's a deadly war.
I don't know who anybody is.
I think that
I said I could shut it off on day one,
I
but
hope so.
I was
hope
wrong.
so.
And what about
The secondary tariffs are very, very powerful.
Are they?
about the tariffs that the Republicans in the House and the Senate have ready? Those
Yeah.
were 500%.
Sure.
Why are you doing 100%?
Well, the Republicans are moving very strongly in the Senate, giving us total control of it, but I'm not sure we need it, but
What?
It's certainly good that they're doing it. And Lindsey Graham's working hard. The whole John Thune, all of them, they're all working hard.
What are you
and
talking
they're
about?
in coordination with Mike Johnson.
Okay,
Speaker in
so
the
why
House.
aren't you signing
And
it?
I
This
think
should be a
they
slam dunk.
They've actually crafted a pretty good piece of legislation. It's probably going to pass very easily. And
Okay.
that includes Democrats. And there's some
What?
little tweaks. But I don't want them to waste their time. It could be very useful. We'll have to see. But we can do secondary. We're probably talking about 100% or something like that.
Or
We can
something
do
like that.
secondary. We can do secondary tariffs without the Senate, without the House. But what they're crafting also could be very good.
So are you suggesting then that the Congress should move forward with those sanctions, the 500%, and that your 100 would be a separate additional package?
Yeah, I mean, the 500 is, sort of meaningless after a while because at a certain point it doesn't matter. It's not going to be,
Really?
100. 100 is going to serve the same.
Wait, what?
But
He doesn't want to do 500.
I have it at 100%. They may have it. I don't know what they're going to end up with. They may have it.
He
at
doesn't
102. They may have it at
actually have
500.
any percent.
But they're doing some good work in the House, and I think in the House and the Senate. And as
Oh
you know,
my God.
they're coordinated, and they can have it done quickly.
So Lee tells us the truth of what's happening, just so you know. Lee says 50 days to stop the war, 100% tariffs. There is already 200% tariffs on many Russian goods, including metals. He's just lying. He's just making it up. And the reason we have this problem is because disinformation. Disinformation has taken hold of this country like no other time in history, and we are absolutely suffering. And no one will admit that it is the disinformation, that if we really fought against disinformation, that we would make some fucking progress. But no, it's got to be something else. It's got to be something else. Oh, the disinformation isn't important enough. No. This is just the natural cycle of anti-liberalism, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. It is the disinformation yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And unless we make disinformation the main conversation, we are never going to break through any of these issues because this shit will continue to happen. God damn it. Fuck.
They said they'll have it as quickly as I need it. So we'll see. We're talking to him.
What?
In fact, John Thune's coming over later on to talk.
What?
Yeah, he's gonna come over.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is it your view that Vladimir Putin mischaracterized his dedication
What?
to? Is it your view that Vladimir Putin misguided, did not clarify his intention
Yeah.
to a peace deal?
Well-
And what happens now in the next phase? Is there?
We're going to see. I mean, we're going to go for a period of time. Maybe he'll start negotiating. I think I felt, I don't know about you, Mark, but I felt that we had a deal about 4 times. Mm-hmm. And here we are, still talking about it.
And
Oh,
he didn't
thank you,
send
Lee.
serious people to the negotiations. So I remember that you were able, with Marco Rubio and with Steve Witkoff, to get these talks going in Istanbul.
Yep.
I remember I was myself in Turkey for NATO business in May, and we really put pressure on the Ukrainians to send a senior team into Istanbul, and they did. But then the Russians came up with this historian explaining history of Russia since 1250.
We thought, and I thought, we should have had a deal done a long time ago. But it just keeps going on and on and on. And every night people are dying. A lot of Russian soldiers are dying, by the way. And a lot of Ukrainian soldiers too. But a lot of Russian soldiers are dying.
100,000 Russian soldiers since 1st of January. Since January. 100,000 Russian soldiers dead since January. So if anybody in Moscow is listening to this, again, 100,000 dead Russians since January. This is what President Putin is doing at the moment.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
These
come
be
on,
Patriot
Amazon.
missiles specifically, or Patriot batteries that you're planning? And when do you
It's everything. It's Patriots. It's all of them. It's a full complement with the batteries.
And when do you expect them to arrive in Ukraine, sir?
Well, we're going to have some come very soon, within days, actually. Because a couple of the countries that have Patriots are going to swap over and we'll replace the Patriots with the ones they have, and Matt will coordinate with NATO. But so it's going to be, they're going to start arriving very soon.
Who's Matt?
This afternoon, Boris Pistorius, the German defense minister, is visiting Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, and we'll discuss also, I think, on this whole Patriot thing. Norway is involved, so that's on the Patriots, but this whole deal is also about missiles or ammunition, so it's broader than Patriots.
We have one country that has 17 Patriots getting ready to be shipped. They're not going to need them for them. So we're going to work a deal where the 17 will.
So basically, we're making money off of the Ukrainians. That we're not going to give the shit, which actually ended up enriching American companies, by the way, because the way we did it was we didn't send money to Ukraine. Okay, this is for the chuds who hate watch. We didn't send money to Ukraine. We send old equipment, and then we replace that equipment for us. That's where the money comes in. And now we're just going to sell arms to Europe so they can spend their money also transferring those arms to Ukraine. Ending up causing, just as Trump does, he makes everything worse when he touches it. We didn't have trade problems in the past. He created them. We didn't have a slowdown in the economy. He literally created that. And it's going to get worse.
Or a big portion of the 17 will go to the war side.
Mr. President.
That can be done very quickly.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, he
Should this
does.
transaction with NATO be viewed as a step towards achieving peace, letting Putin know that now Zelensky has a little bit more powerful tools in his tool chest, and maybe that brings him to the table to
Oh,
achieve
shut up,
peace? So I know that
Brian.
you wanted to do that.
Brian, that's what we've been saying.
Brian's a
I think you
fucking
might
idiot, by the
expressed
way.
it better
He
if you
sucks
wanted to.
Trump off every
Exactly
night.
what
That was a
it
summary.
That was a nice summary. You might, I think he's done better than us. He's a very good guy, I can tell you that. But
Yeah,
no, it's
he's friends with Brian.
Well said. Yeah, I think this is a chance at getting peace. Or it's just going to be the same thing. I have to tell you, Europe has a lot of spirit for this war. A lot of people, when I first got involved, I really didn't think they did, but they do. And I saw that
That's
a
a
month
good
ago, and you were there.
point.
Most of you, many of you were there.
That's a great point. I thought NATO, Lee says, I thought NATO and U.S. were going to fund the Ukraine arms with seized Russian assets. Exactly. That's right. I tried to have a conversation about disinfo, but my interlocutors kept lying. Douchey? Douche? Douchey? Who's douchey?
The level of
Which douchey is that?
esprit de corps spirit that
Esprit de
they have
corps.
is amazing. They
Really, that's French.
think it's a very, very
Yes, that's
important
MTG's man.
thing to do, or they wouldn't be doing it. Look, they're agreeing to just
Tintin.
they're paying for everything. We're not paying anymore. We have an ocean separating us. I said we have a problem. We make
don't
the best
need it.
stuff, but we can't keep doing this. And Biden should have done
Yeah.
this years ago.
Yeah.
He should have done it from the beginning.
Yeah. I didn't stop him.
Horrible job they did for this country, and I just hope between the border and this and so many other inflation.
What?
a
You haven't solved
horrible
anything.
Administration, the worst administration in history, in my opinion. It's
No,
not my
you are.
opinion. I think it's everybody's.
Nah, you are.
But this is something
You are.
that shouldn't have happened, and we're going to see if we can end it.
I want this man
I do
hung.
wanna
I
make
want him
one
to
statement.
hang. I do.
Again,
I want
said it
this. I want
before.
treason
This is
things
not
to happen.
Trump's war. We're here to try and
This is
get it
treason.
finished and
He is
settled,
treason.
whatever. Because nobody wins with this. This is a loser.
I hope
from
he's hung
every
for treason.
standpoint.
I really
This
do.
was Biden,
I would
and this
watch
was
that. I would watch
other
that.
people. And
I would
it's
watch
very
it.
sad. It's a very sad situation.
I do. I hope
This
he's hung for
gentleman's doing a great
treason.
job. I think he's going to get it, and Matt.
Or
and everybody
it's even
else that's
better.
working on
Here's
it, I
the
think
better
he'll get
one. Here's the better one. I dream of the International Criminal Court actually having like the support of the world to hold this entire administration accountable. I want to see them crying in that courtroom in those boxes that they make them sit in Nuremberg or the criminal court. I want to see them sitting in those boxes crying. I would pay to watch that. Hell yeah. And then I want to actually see them hung. And I don't think I've ever wanted to see that. I probably would look away. But I tell you right now, I want these people off the planet Earth. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to hope that the arms of justice grab them by the short hairs and hang them from their own petard. I want to see all of them hoisted on their own petard.
This thing over with.
Mr. President, you've praised European countries today as standing up for Ukraine, as being strong. Will you allow them to continue to negotiate tariffs lower than 30% before August 1st, or is the deal set at this point?
What does that mean? You mean you're talking about the tariffs?
On trade, on tariffs.
You're back on tariffs. You're on a more friendly tariff, right? A little bit more friendly tariff. No, we're going to be talking to people. We have, I watched the show this morning. They were talking about, well, when's he going to make the deal? The deals are already made. The letters are the deals. The deals are made.
Oh, I see. Oh, those are the deals. Oh, okay.
Do a different kind of a deal, and we're always open to talk. We are open to talk.
But how are you going to plan for anything if we don't know what the tariff amounts are?
Mr. President, is there any concern about the U.S. stockpiles? There was a pause in delivery of weaponry to Ukraine in order to evaluate, apparently, the U.S. stockpiles. What came out of that?
Evaluation. I mean, this was a very big, what we're talking about today is a very, very big day. And what Pete was doing, and me too, I knew what Pete was doing, was evaluation, because we knew this was going to happen.
They didn't evaluate.
And now we actually announced it. They voted on it. It's all been done.
Who voted on it?
So obviously that has a big impact on, when you say pause.
Who voted on it?
You're not going to be doing things if you don't know what's going to happen here. But we were pretty sure this was going to happen, so we did a little bit of a pause.
Oh, so you paused it because you were going to what?
It's a very big event today. This is something very big.
What?
If Putin escalates further, how far are you willing to go in response?
In what?
How far are you willing to go if Putin were to escalate, send more bombs in the coming days?
Don't ask me a question like that. How far? I want to get the war settled. They're not Americans that are dying in it, and I have a problem.
They're Americans
JD
dying?
has a problem. It's
a lot of Americans are dying in it?
Americans dying, but there are a lot of people dying, and on something that should be able to be
they're
settled.
not American. Oh, he corrected himself. Lee says those letters are not a deal. The EU and Japan are forming a trade alliances with the rest of the world. The U.S. will be on its own. And that is from our trade representative. I know, but it can't hurt. Facts versus name calling. I agree with you, Butterflies. I think there needs to be a daily, facts. Facts first. Make facts great again.
And we all agree with that. This group of people
Rutte.
want to defend our country.
Yeah, Rutte, do you have questions for Trump about the Epstein list?
Having a strong Europe is a very good thing.
Oh, is
Very
it?
good thing. So
is
I'm
it?
okay with that. Yeah, please.
You're okay with it? Oh, okay.
Ceiling on what the Europeans are willing to pay for, and it sounds like, are you ruling out the U.S. paying for from additional weapons through drawdown authority?
Because basically what the president is saying, that he is willing, of course, taking consideration what the U.S. needs itself. So it's not that you can have a shopping list and you can order whatever you want, because the U.S. has to make sure that the U.S. keeps its hand on what the U.S. needs, also to keep the whole world safe, because in the end you are the police agent of the whole world. You're the most powerful nation
Mark,
on Earth,
stop
the most
it.
powerful military on Earth. But given
Mark.
that the U.S. has decided to
Even I'm not buying it now.
supply Ukraine with what is necessary through NATO, Europeans 100% paying for that. And what we have been doing over the last couple of days is talking with countries, and I just mentioned the ones who in the first wave immediately said we want to chip in. And then you are really talking about big numbers. Take Germany visiting today. They're really talking about big numbers.
Big numbers. Mark.
I will say that,
Does he have to shower after he gets out of these
Germany
meetings?
spoke with most of the larger countries, and they are really enthusiastic about it. They want to, and they're willing to go very far. I will tell you, as per your question, how far would I go? They want to go very far. They don't want this to happen. That's why I think from Putin's standpoint, it would really be good. He gets the country's economy is doing very poorly.
Souls of the small hands.
He's got to get his economy back.
Is that how you say
He's got
that?
to save his economy. He could save his country in a sense, but the economy can destroy He's destroyed a lot of countries over
Well,
the years.
just
He wants to
wait,
get that
honey.
economy back.
Oh,
He's got
you've got a
great
plan
country
for that.
trading and other things. If they could use the assets instead of war, he's got some tremendous potential. That's what I would say.
How did you deliver
Is that what
this
you'd
news
say?
to Putin, sir?
Say it.
How did you tell Putin this was coming?
I speak to him a lot about getting this thing done. And I always hang up and say, well, that was a nice phone call. And then missiles are launched into Kiev or some other city. And I said, it's strange. And after that happens 3 or 4 times, you say, the talk doesn't mean anything. My conversations with him are always very pleasant. I say, isn't that a very lovely conversation? And then the missiles go off that night. I go home, I tell the First Lady, I spoke to Vladimir today. We had a wonderful conversation. She said, oh, really? Another city was just hit. So it's like, look, he's, I don't want to say he's an assassin, but he's a tough guy. It's been proven over the years. He's fooled a lot of people. He fooled Bush. He fooled a lot of people. He fooled Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden. He didn't fool me.
Oh, he didn't fool you?
Do say is that at a certain point, talk doesn't talk. It's got to be action. It's got to be results, and I hope he does it.
Yeah, she doesn't live with you.
It's potentially such a.
Who's the bust peering over the chair?
So many people on this. And,
I don't know.
And look at what's happening.
I don't know who that is. Oh, is it Churchill?
Look at what's happening.
Might be.
The threat in 50 days.
Yeah.
The economy will be hit very hard.
I mean, look. I hope he's going to do it.
50 days till more tariffs on stuff that's sanctioned.
He knows what a fair deal is. If there is such a thing as a fair deal, there's no winners here. This is a loser.
No more Russian vodka. Wait, we don't have Russian vodka.
From the beginning, and it wouldn't have happened. But I will say, Ukraine was the apple of his eye.
Somebody should drop a
It
PP
was the
tape.
apple of his eye.
I know somebody filmed this motherfucker. Give me a break.
It wasn't going to happen.
You know someone filmed this
After I
motherfucker.
was out, I noticed soldiers forming at the border, and then I heard horrible.
You noticed that?
The other side, and I said they're really handling it very, very wrong. It's a shame. Yeah,
Can I add one thing, and that is about President Trump, because you came in office in January. On the 12th of February, you had your first phone call with Putin. I think you did exactly what I hope you would do. That is breaking the deadlock, starting the conversation, because you have to test him. I know Putin very well from the days when I was Prime Minister in the Netherlands. You have to test him. And you did this.
Well, they are
and
the
you really
apple of
gave
his
him a
eye.
chance to be serious, to get to the table, to start negotiations. Steve Witkoff, Marco Rubio, we all tried to help you. But you've now come to a point where you say, well, hey.
we actually thought we had probably 4 times the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have called and you said,
Yeah.
this looks good.
Yeah.
And then the deal wouldn't happen because bombs would be thrown out that night, and you'd say, we're not making any deals. It was like,
It's tough, huh?
Because you had to start that process, and you were the only one who was able to do that.
I think we'll get it done.
Reasonable enough
Funny.
to negotiate
Mark,
an end to this?
you're pushing too hard.
I mean, look, this is a very powerful situation. You have very wealthy countries buying the best equipment in the world.
Uh-huh.
And we have the best equipment in the world.
Yeah, we do.
We make equipment like no other. You know, our submarines, nuclear submarines.
I don't
are
know,
so
the Ukrainians
powerful.
make some pretty mean drones.
Most powerful weapon
Just
ever
saying.
built. And we have the best in the world by 20 years behind, 25 years behind.
Really, not in the drones.
We have the greatest equipment anywhere in the world.
Not in the
I just hope
drones,
we
you
don't. Have
don't.
to use it. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. On a separate topic here, President Biden, of all people, spoke to the New York Times
There
over
you
the
go, Jim.
weekend. He did not speak to them on the record during his time in office at all, but he spoke to them recently.
So
and
what?
he defended his use of the auto pen and said that he
Are you
signed off
kidding
on
me?
every decision. But at the same time, the Times reports that he did not individually approve each name for the categorical pardons that applied to large numbers of people. What are your take on that?
Well, what about
Your
the
position on that?
1600
You're talking about the auto pen.
J6?
Look, the auto pen, I think, is maybe one of the biggest scandals
That's
we've
not.
had in 50 to 100 years. This is a
No,
tremendous
baby, it's
scandal.
not. I know.
And
I know
the
Germans
people
make
on
great
the other
subs
side
too. Oh yeah, that's
You
right.
see that desk, that Resolute desk? Unfortunately, he used it before me. But, you know, we have our choice of 7 desks.
Oh my God, here we
They're all
go.
beautiful. But I chose the Resolute, and so did he, unfortunately. But the people on the other side of the Resolute desk, I know them. Lisa, the whole group, and they're no good.
Uh-oh.
They're sick people.
Lisa.
And I guarantee you he knew nothing about what he was signing.
Well,
I guarantee
how do you
it.
guarantee that?
So they're going to figure it out, and
I
we'll
agree.
See what happens.
Oof,
But
that's a great
to
idea.
Me, the auto pen, you elected president. You know what the auto pen is supposed to do? Sign thousands of letters from young people that write. We get thousands of letters a week, Susie, right?
Does he have spit on his lip?
I mean,
does he have spit on his lower lip?
I look at a room. There's a room where we have many, many people.
Or a blister?
Responding,
Does he have a canker sore on his lip?
Sending letters back. That's what an auto pen's supposed to be. To write to a young 7-year-old boy that writes to the president, and he wants to be president someday, and he loves America. That's what the auto pen's supposed to be. It's not supposed
my
to be
name's
for
not Lisa.
signing major legislation and all of the things. No, the auto pen.
Who's
and
Lisa?
I doubt he knew. I doubt they even spoke to him about it. I think they had. It's called the freewheeling auto pen.
What?
Like,
is that what it's
Biden
called?
was never for open borders. Biden was never for transgender for everyone.
Well, how do you know?
I don't think I think the radical left people.
Everyone.
They took over the White House, and if I didn't
Everyone?
win, our country was finished. You know, when I was in, and I said
it's
this
finished
a couple
now.
of times. I hope I don't bore you with it, but when I was in Saudi Arabia,
Oh boy.
I was in Qatar.
Yeah,
I
the
was in
January 6th
UAE,
pardons
and
glossed
then I met
over.
with all of your leaders, including you, a great leader.
All right, baby.
He's now the leader of many countries. Not
I'll
just
see you soon. Take care.
But I met with a lot of leaders over the last 2 months.
Yikes.
In the Middle East and all of the NATO countries.
All of the NATO.
And I will
all
tell
the
you,
NATOs.
they had one
all the
common
NATOs.
phrase. They thought America was dead 1 year ago. And today they say, and they all say it, and I hope
All of them.
you'll back me up in this, but they say now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. It is. Look at our numbers. Look at the numbers we made. You see, we made $25 billion last month. We didn't make that for years. Kicking in, the economy is very strong. Even though we have a Fed person who's terrible, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but that's all right. We blow through interest rates. We're doing so well, we blow through it. Be nice because people would be able to buy housing a lot easier. But
No,
think of
actually,
it.
that's not the
We
issue.
thought your country was dead.
It's the
And they
pricing.
were dealing with China because they were
It's
really
the
going
pricing.
to China. But not anymore. But we thought your country was dead, and
It's
now
the
you have
pricing.
the hottest country anywhere in the world. So we've done a really good job, and it's an honor to have this man. This man is a star, and he's going to be dealing with another one of my stars, Matt, and you're going to do a great job, Matt Whitaker. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Ugh, JD Vance is such a slimy bastard, isn't he? He's like a little boiled tick. Oh, you can't see him because of the dog. Well, you got the point.
And President Trump meeting with NATO.
No, this little Nazi needs to really get smacked in the head. I don't know who's going to do it, but hopefully somebody someday will. I know. I'm not nice. I get it. And I'm not nice. But you know what? They aren't either. Let's put the puppy. Hey, puppy. Hey, baby. This puppy's for adoption if you're anywhere near in the Southwest. This puppy is for adoption. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was gross. That was really gross. It's a country. Matt Whitaker is such a dick. Oh, my God. Yeah, the eggs story would have come up if he had had any more time about eggs being lower. Holy shit balls. I think I'm not going to read that one this time. Let me see. Hold on just a second. Let me think about where I am. Oh, I know where I am. La 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 la. Figaro, 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 Figaro. Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. What will keep Kevin's dogs with him? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to help him out so he can get some food for the pups for a minute. And then I'll try and I was hoping maybe with Kevin we could find some services in Colorado that would help him I didn't know exactly where he was, but he put it on his Give, Send, Go. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Littleton, Colorado, and see what's going on with them. See if there's any services. I feel like he's tried, but it's always, you just take a second look and see if there's any chance that we can help keep him together. It's just tough. Life is just really fucking hard, and it's like, it's just really fucking hard. But thanks for asking. How fast can Give, Send, Go? You mean the it's not far from Colorado Springs? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how he can get money out of the GoFundMe. I'm not sure how those things work. I have his Cash App, so I can just Cash App him some money for now. There is a place in Colorado called the Pet Pantry that helps with food. Is Kevin on any services? It sucks to have no support. See, I think Kevin was working, so I don't think he could qualify for. I don't mean to talk about these. These are things he's brought up in public, so I'm not telling you things that he has not made public. So I just want to tell you that. But I believe he doesn't necessarily qualify for those services necessarily. I mean, that's what I believe he said in the past. So I'll find out. Message me and I'll look. That's right. You actually are very good. I'll send you something. I'll send you. He's basically in Littleton, Colorado, is what it says on the GoFundMe in Littleton, Colorado. So, yeah. I'm pretty good at finding stuff you always recommend. Yeah, I know. The local churches, the Methodists, it's okay. The Methodist Church, I know, is usually pretty good about community outreach in terms of actually giving you food and, some assistance. But I don't know what the situation is in Littleton, Colorado. So, yeah. But Kevin is, if Kevin indeed has to give up the pups for adoption, I think I know that's going to be the hardest thing on him. And I also know it's what makes him one of the strongest people I know, because he's doing it for the puppies, and even though it crushes him. So, yeah. But yeah, we'll find it. We'll try and find out some stuff. We'll try and help him out. Actually, I should do that. Let's see. Let me see what this is. Oh, I wanted to read this story. This was disturbing and not something I had heard about yet. And let's see. This one. Move baby. Let me move. What are we calling her? Penny? Okay, Penny. Let me move Penny over there. Penny is up for adoption in the Southwest. If you're anywhere near the Southwest, you can hit me up, and I'll get your details to the people who have beautiful Penny. Little baby. She's a little baby, right? She's just a baby. She looks like she's just a baby. Just a baby. Okay, hold on. Sorry. All right. Oops. St. Vincent de Paul is very helpful. Yes, I agree. St. Vincent de Paul, there's some, even Catholic charities, I think, if they're still operating. I just have to look at Littleton, see what I can help. The Pet Fund. Oh, Gal says the Pet Fund provides financial assistance for non-basic, non-urgent veterinary care and for domestic animals. They typically have a waiting list, but it's important to contact them by phone. 916-443-6007. Oh, that's very good, Gal. Let me just take a picture of that, because oh, Penny is maybe 3 months old. That little baby you see on the picture. Oh, Catholic Charities does rent and electric. Yes, butterflies. Thank you. So we have to see if there's some active Catholic charities and stuff like that. Oh, maybe Chewy. Yeah. I don't know if it's any good, but I came across it. I'll send in Signal. Okie dokie. All right. Let me read this to you because this caught my eye. This is the Pennsylvania Capital Star, so I'm not really sure what exactly this the pet fund. You put it in Discord, the pet fund. Thank you so much. Oomph. Excellent. All right, good. And Kevin's in the Discord, so he can find things that are in the Discord. If you can at him, actually, at Kevin Lowry. It's his name. Same name as here. Pennsylvania nursing home operator Genesis enters into bankruptcy with $58 million in a tax debt to the state. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Oomph. This is from a couple days ago. Sorry, it's so small. All right. One of the largest nursing home operators in Pennsylvania filed for bankruptcy. Sorry, I'll just do this. I guess I could just make it smaller. I guess I can make Penny smaller. Penny! Penny! Well, even the cats aren't hanging around, so fuck the cats. Okay. I guess that's good enough. All right. One of the largest nursing home operators in Pennsylvania filed for bankruptcy Wednesday, listing the Commonwealth among its biggest unsecured creditors. Based in Kennett Square, Chester County, private equity-backed Genesis Healthcare said in a statement Wednesday that the petition for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection would permit it to pursue a reorganization plan with minimal disruption. It said the reorganization would allow staff to retain their positions, pay, and benefits so that patients and residents would continue to be served by providers they trust. Genesis operates 42 facilities in Pennsylvania and a total of 175 across the country. We assure all those who rely on us for care that we remain fully focused and committed to providing the high-quality care you have come to expect, and we thank you for your continued confidence, Lauren Murray, the company's chief operating officer. Penny is in the Southwest. Penny is in the Southwest, Val. She might be a good baby for you. You need to be have some protection, lady, on the road. I don't know. Just saying. And we thank you for continuing. Okay. A Shapiro administration official, Governor Shapiro, said Thursday that Genesis Healthcare's bankruptcy is another example of a bad outcome when private equity investors become involved in healthcare. Governor Josh Shapiro strongly believes that private equity should get out of the nursing facility business in Pennsylvania. Department of Human Services Press Secretary Brandon Kalina said, not sure how to say that. Among his budget priorities this year, Shapiro proposed a plan that would prevent investors from stripping money and resources from nursing facilities, community hospitals, and other health facilities. The measure is awaiting action in the state Senate. In April, Crozer Health System closed its 2 remaining hospitals in Delaware County after its parent company, Prospect Medical Holdings, declared bankruptcy. Efforts to keep Crozer Chester Medical Center and Taylor Hospital open were unsuccessful, leaving the suburban Philadelphia county of nearly 600,000 people with only 2 emergency rooms. Yeah, she's probably going to be big. Her paws are really huge. Previously owned by Los Angeles-based private equity firm Leonard Green & Partners, Prospect was saddled with a $1.3 billion in debt as its owners took more than $645 million in dividends and fees, according to ProPublica. So here's the thing. The private equity is one of the fronts that we have not yet begun to fight. And under this administration, the chance to fight them, I think, is going to be extremely hard. But this is very interesting to me because this is a national company that is doing nursing care and health care. And they're declaring bankruptcy. And we haven't even had an economic downturn in the degree that we're probably about to have. So if these owners, these private equity owners, are just raping the nursing homes of their funding by enriching themselves, literally taking money out of the business to the point where they run it into bankruptcy and then get bailed out by who now? Oh yeah, that's the taxpayers. You should be mad. If you are a taxpayer, you should be angry that rich motherfuckers, oh, she's good in the car, are fucking with your health care and ending up killing people because now in a county of 600,000 people, you have 2 emergency rooms. Oh my gosh, those eyes. Hold on. Stop. Stop. I've got to do this. You guys, you need to see this dog today. You need to see this dog today. Look at this baby. Look at that baby. Look at that little peanut. Look at that little peanut. Look at that baby peanut. Oh my Lord in heaven. Look at that face. Oh, teepee baby. What's a teepee baby? Oh my God. The cuteness is too much. The cute overload is entirely too much. Yeah. So eat the rich. The Genesis bankruptcy filings list $708.5 million in secured debt, which the company proposes to satisfy through the sale of its assets to a stalking horse bidder affiliated with the primary secured creditors. Wait, what? I need to read that again. I'll put the picture in Discord if you want. She's seriously gorgeous. Peanut butter brindle coloring looks like tiger stripes. Aww. The Genesis bankruptcy filings list $708.5 million in secured debt, which the company proposes to satisfy through the sale of its assets to a stalking horse bidder affiliated with the primary secured creditors. The bankruptcy petition also lists nearly $800 million in unsecured debt to creditors who include the Internal Revenue Service, vendors, and the recipients of legal settlements. They literally don't pay their bills. They literally don't pay their bills. Pennsylvania is Genesis' 4th largest unsecured creditor with $58 million claim for taxes the state collects from some providers participating in Medicaid. So it's a Medicaid scam. In its bankruptcy filings, Genesis asked the court to approve $30 million in debtor-in-possession financing from its primary creditors that would allow the company to continue operating, pay its employees, and maintain business relationships during the course of the bankruptcy proceedings. The company's bankruptcy comes amid uncertainty over how the federal budget reconciliation's $1 trillion cut to Medicaid over 10 years will affect providers across the country. Here you go, folks. The rich people are trying to get out while the getting's good. I'm not fucking kidding. The rich people are trying to get out while the getting's good. I'll read it again. The company's bankruptcy comes amid uncertainty over how the federal budget reconciliation $1 trillion cut to Medicaid over 10 years will affect providers across the country. The effect on the state budget, which was due June 30th, is also uncertain. Shapiro noted Monday that Pennsylvania would lose billions it can't afford to backfill. The State Department of Human Services says cuts could result in more than 310 Pennsylvanians losing Medicaid coverage. Some 270,000 could lose access to marketplace plans or face steep premium increases. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Advocating for Seniors, an association of long-term care providers across the country, said underfunding in Pennsylvania, coupled with reductions in the state's Medicaid reimbursement rates, are a major cause of Genesis financial distress. DHS recently proposed reimbursement rates for nursing facilities called the budget allocation factor that would provide long-term care providers only 80% of their calculated reimbursement costs. Those are already based on audited costs and the care needs of patients, according to the association. Long-term care facilities cannot keep their doors open in this chaotic and unreliable environment, said Brittany Crampsey, spokesperson for Advocating for Seniors. Dropping reimbursement rates, staffing ratios that facilities struggle to meet, and a late state budget with no certainty about funding for nursing homes will put residents in peril, Crampsey said. Quote, facilities are losing hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. Some are closing. Many more are considering that option. We need increased funding in the budget now. Do you, or do you also need a conversation about how, and an audit of how these firms are running these nursing homes? I would love to see the financials on these nursing homes. I wonder if those are publicly disclosed. Do you think they're publicly disclosed? Hi, Kevin. Welcome back. I hope your ears weren't burning. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, we dropped a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is this is not good. The secondary effects of hospital and nursing home closures will also yes, they will devastate local economies, right? Max talks about the hospital in her area being one of the major employers in that part of her area. So it's just the downstream of this is not going to be good. Not going to be good. Kalina said DHS works to ensure Medicaid recipients have access to quality nursing facilities while operating within the funding the General Assembly appropriates in the state budget. He said it's inaccurate to say the budget allocation factor is what's pushing nursing facilities to the brink of closure. No, I think there's probably some fraud, frankly. The adoption headshot is in your signal. LOL, she says, take me. Yes, the hospital is the second largest employer behind the state itself. That's right. Oh my God. Let me see where this beautiful baby is. Is this it? Look at those blue eyes. Oh my Lord in heaven. Little baby. Oops. Back here. Oh, there it is. Oh, the baby. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh my God. Look at those eyes. Look at those paws. That's going to be a big baby girl. She's going to be a big baby girl. Oh, her markings are so pretty. Like a baby. Like a baby. The process for setting the rates and use of the budget allocation factor is set in state law, and the proposed rate assumes that the funding for the 2024-25 budget will remain level. If the amount of funding changes, the rates would be revised. In the case of Genesis Healthcare, this is another private equity-backed healthcare organization that has bled dry by greed and mismanagement. I agree with this. Genesis owes the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and its taxpayers $58 million, and like every tax-paying resident of Pennsylvania, they should pay their fair share. Last month, the State House passed legislation proposed by Shapiro to give the State Attorney General's office oversight of the mergers. In fact, I only think companies should pay taxes. And people making under like a household income of, I don't know, say 500,000. I don't even care, right? Like, but get the majority of the people in there and let them not pay taxes. I feel like you should have people pay taxes who are uber wealthy and companies. That's who should be paying taxes in a country. Otherwise, people shouldn't have to pay taxes. They still have to pay sales tax and other things, so they still pay taxes. But there shouldn't be an income tax for people that are just living in this country. There just shouldn't. All that money should come from the richest part of the country. Period. Josh says if she was in the Syracuse area, I'd take her in a second. All the anticipated doom keeps reminding me of the villainess's speech from Hudson Hawk. Didn't we watch that? Or no, I guess we haven't watched that. Also, if you've never walked two huskies when a fire truck drives by, you haven't lived yet. I can imagine. I can imagine. Last month, the State House passed legislation proposed by Shapiro to give the state attorney general's office oversight of mergers and acquisitions involving healthcare companies, prohibit sale-leaseback agreements, and require healthcare facilities to buyers to submit financial and operational disclosures to the state. I tried, but I got bored with this love story. Oh, yeah. Less than a decade ago, Genesis was the largest skilled nursing operator in the nation, with over 500 facilities and 60,000 beds in 30 states, according to a court filing. The growth strategy wasn't profitable, and it began to divest unprofitable facilities. The COVID-19 pandemic struck another blow, and Genesis narrowly avoided bankruptcy in 2021 with a $100 million injection of capital from private equity firm Regen Healthcare. It also renegotiated its master lease with the landlord Welltower, a healthcare-focused real estate investment trust, to which the company owes more than $112.6 million, according to court documents. Welltower is the largest owner of senior housing facilities in the United States, according to Hindenburg Research, which specializes in forensic financial research. The company's legacy costs, which include $8 million a month in settlement and defense costs associated with personal injury and wrongful death claims, proved insurmountable, the court papers say. Genesis said in a court filing that in the first half of the year it has engaged in negotiations with its creditors to negotiate the terms of a comprehensive solution and entered bankruptcy with a clear and defined exit path. Sure you did. Oh, sure. Sure you did. Yeah, we believe that. We don't believe that. Well, it's corporate greed, y'all, and it's going to be exacerbated by the cuts to Medicaid. So that's the story on that. Today is Bastille Day. It's true. Oh my God, why do we have those number ones? I didn't want those. I can't. Can you take those? I hate this super fan thing, whatever the fan thing is on that. What the hell? Oh, I can't stand that stuff. What does that mean? Oh, timestamps. Wait, what? Oh man, I hate that stuff. I'm sorry, Josh. I don't know what those little numbers are. She's gorgeous but looks gentle too. Yeah. Well, I think it's a lot how you raise them, right? Wow. What a mixed up world we live in. What a mixed up, crazy world. Well, I think I'm going to leave you for this morning. I've spent enough of your time. And I have no good news for you, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't. Kevin, everyone is in your corner. Everyone is rooting for you. And I know it's hard, and I know it's and sometimes rooting for you doesn't help pay the bills, right? I get that too. But I'm glad you let everyone know what you need, and we'll just take one day at a time, right? Right? Yeah. We'll have a space tonight. Oh, what a love. We'll have a space tonight. So join us on The Bad Place. We're still there. I'm not posting there though. I'm really not. But we need to move big accounts off of Twitter eventually. I mean, please. We just have to shut off the oxygen. That's what I believe, but all right, good. Be there tonight. Excellent. Yeah, so I'll hopefully I'll hear you guys tonight or see your little icons in the chat. And then tomorrow morning we have more tomorrow morning. Just crazy. And tomorrow, I'm not sure what we want to talk about tomorrow. I mean, we'll watch the news cycle to see if there's anything specific. But I'll take a look because I've got a couple of deep dives that I'd love to kind of get into. So maybe we'll go into some deep dives. It's a slow congressional month, as you know. There's not a lot happening in Congress as they take their summer off. But they don't get a 9-month salary like teachers do when they take the summer off. So what's up with that? Oh, that's right. It's capitalism and autocracy and cronyism and white supremacy and all the things. Oh, thank you, Scott. No, I appreciate everyone being here. Gosh, I really do. I really appreciate just the fact that people come in and check out what's happening. All right. So I will see you later. And please have a good Monday. Be gentle with yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. Re-enter this week gently. And I will see you. I'll see you on all the social on all the socials. All right. I love you guys. Take care.